run out of those things, you've got to sell players. And you've got to sell players for profit.
Brighton host Chelsea tonight live on talkSPORT, or if you're craving live sport right now, ball-by-ball commentary of Sunrisers Hyderabad against the Delhi Capitals in the IPL is over on talkSPORT 2 and the Cricket YouTube channel. Elsewhere today, Nottingham Forest have confirmed Callum Hudson-Odoi's season is over. He picked up a muscle injury in their Porto game last week. That's as we understand Jared Branthwaite's hamstring injury has ruled him out of the rest of the season too. Meanwhile, Andoni Iraola's spoken for the first time about his successor, Marco Rosa.
The club is in very good hands past week, and I think he's a great manager. No, I think it's a lot of also European experience, and it looks exciting, yes.
Iraola's on his way out at the end of the season with former Dortmund man to take charge, and the already promoted Coventry will be confirmed as championship winners if they beat Portsmouth tonight. Ahead of that one, owner Doug King has told fans to enjoy the moment if it comes, but has begged them to please stay off the pitch. There's plenty more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Kemi Badenoch calls for the PM to resign after the row over appointing Lord Mandelson as Britain's ambassador to the US. And 7 people have been arrested by counter-terror police over a conspiracy to commit arson at another Jewish site. Emma has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With over 400 EV-ready centres across the UK, we're top of the league for electric car owners. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Low cloud will move into the northeast tonight, extending across Scotland. It's staying dry with clear spells elsewhere, and it's windy in the southwest.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Happy Tuesday. It's me, Andy Goldstein. He's back again. He was so good yesterday. Darren Bent's here.
It's Darren here, by the way, Darren Bent.
Easy, you good?
I am, you little glasses wearer. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Oh, good on you. They suit you. Makes you look intelligent.
What are you trying to say? Yours don't.
Yeah, you're right. But, you know, we've got a show for you today. West Ham missed out on a great chance to open the relegation gap on Spurs, but they could only manage a draw. We knew that. So, who is going down with Wolves? We'll start with that. 03717 223334. This is a bit nuts. Chelsea have given Brighton £258 million since the ownership group took over in 2022. Effectively £250 million. The Seagulls go above them if they beat them tonight. What's all that about? What's gone wrong? We'll build up to that one live on talkSPORT a bit later on. And 10 years on from Leicester's Premier League title win, they could be relegated to League One. Leicester fans, how are you feeling ahead of tonight's game? All that plus the voice of boxing, Adam Smith joins in the studio. We take a look at a few Premier League players that are out of contract this summer, and lots more between now and 7 on your favourite drive time show on talkSPORT. Well, your only one. You can get involved, be a part of the show. We'll talk West Ham and Spurs in just a moment. So if you want to be ahead of the curve, 03717 223344.
So if I'm watching The Lion King, in my brain, I know it's not real lions. I know it's not lions anyway, but watching it on TV, film, it looks all like realistic.
And that's what I have for the next 3 hours alongside me.
Yeah, you think that type of stuff, man.
How are you?
I'm good, you?
Talking of watching things,
Yep.
you're a big fan of Ronaldinho.
Yeah, one of the greatest players of all time.
Okay, so he's got a new documentary out on Netflix.
Yep.
So I downloaded it for my journey in, and I watched it for 5 minutes, and unintentionally, I've ruined it for myself. Because for some reason it started playing with an American dubbed voice, so there's no subtitles. And the first scene is Ronaldinho sitting down in a chair, and they go like, "What was it like to play for Brazil?" And Ronaldinho answers in an American accent by going, "Yeah, when I was playing for Brazil, man, it was great." And I was like, "What? What's happened here?"
Daniel.
And then it goes to like an older coach, and it's like, "Yeah, man, when we got Ronaldinho out of his contract." I'm like, no, stop. And
You'd rather subtitles and it be Brazilian.
I'd rather subtitles, but hearing Ronaldinho speak with a heavy American accent.
No. The only thing I can watch when it's dubbed, Kung Fu. I know sometimes the voice don't match the accent.
I'll tell you why you need to, though, because the action happens so quick. If you start reading it, you'll miss the action.
Yeah, but so when it's Kung Fu films, I can work with the dubbed. But, I mean, you're telling me, listen, I'm going to watch that documentary still, even if it is an American accent. But yeah, when I switched on just to have a little preview and I heard man.
Oh, you've seen it as well?
Not all of it, but like, you know, that when you watch a little bit of the trailer.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it was brilliant. I thought, what?
When they won the World Cup, Ronaldo was playing alongside them, but it's great, man. They're like, what? Who's that? Who is that?
But I don't know why they've gone with the American dubbed.
At least get a voice that looks like him.
I know, but you know when you watch those generic world football like documentaries, there's always that one generic voice, and you go, that's perfect, that's fine.
That's fine.
But I don't know why they've gone all out with the maybe because the World Cup's coming up. Going, hey man,
and it's so bad, isn't it? So bad. Who's looked at that in the edit and gone, that's perfect. We'll go.
Yeah, that's bang on that.
It's so weird, isn't it? And that's put me off watching it.
I'm still going to watch it though. I have to. You mean talk about one of the greatest players of all time? I just showed you a little thing on Instagram, didn't I?
Yeah.
Where, like,
he's one of the greatest of all time, but only for a small amount of period.
Yeah, but he would still go down as one of the greatest footballers to ever live.
I don't want to have this at the top of the show.
Oh, you know it's the fact. Come on, Andy.
He's okay. I'll tell you what I'll give you. He's the most skillful player ever to exist.
No, I want more. I need more than that.
I just think you need longevity in the game.
You don't. Well, so Milner's better than him, is he?
No. Why have you picked on Milner?
What I mean is longevity.
What I mean is, you've got to be great and great for a long time to be considered one of the greatest.
I don't think you do.
Like Messi's done it for how long? Ronaldo's done it for how long?
You're talking about two that of the. I put those two above Dino, but Dino is still one of the greatest players we've ever witnessed. Football's
for a small amount of time, yeah.
He made you smile, right? What footballers do that nowadays?
Me smile.
Okay, I'll take that.
What? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, like worth the admission fee and all that nonsense.
You worked at Soccer AM, right?
Why are you bringing that up now?
No, what year?
I've blanked that out of my mind.
No, what year was it?
2010 to 11.
Oh, no, so you would have missed it then. Because there was peak soccer.
Was that the viewers?
No, Soccer AM, there was a period where Showboat was all Dino. So, but it would have been.
Oh, it was way before me. It was proper.
Around 2005.
Yeah, with Tim and Helen,
Yeah.
You know, I loved it for that, but I just thought he was a great player.
You know, when I mentioned that, you went, did it hit you deep when I said the Soccer AM?
No, I couldn't give monkeys about that. Okay. I don't care about that.
Thought maybe for a minute.
Oh, no. Just
hurt your feelings or something?
No, why would you? You can't hurt my feelings. You can't hurt my feelings.
No, because you just went.
Oh, I was playing on it.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, had it not been for me getting a bullet from that show, I wouldn't be here now.
Yeah. Maybe use a different word than that, but yeah. I understand
what?
Bullet. Yeah.
Fired, same thing.
Yeah.
I think I can use it today. Everyone's safe at the moment. We're all fine.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, a long time ago, right?
Yeah, 2011. Do you know what's funny? I don't remember you on it.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
No, because I don't think I watched
it. It weren't good time. I remember sitting. This is how sad it is. I remember sitting on the couch because when Tim left, he took all the writers with him. So all the clever people that wrote and made Soccer AM great, he took them all with him.
Yeah.
And so I remember sitting on the couch next to Helen early on in like maybe week 4, week 5, watching it as part of it, thinking this is rubbish whilst being in it.
Wow.
It just weren't.
What for you?
It just weren't anywhere near as good. It's never going to be as good as the original.
Yeah, I understand. It's a little bit like big. Was it the Big Breakfast back in the day?
Yeah.
Denise Van Outen and Johnny Vaughan, they were the two.
No, Chris Evans before that.
Nah, not Big Breakfast. No,
so what order was Chris Evans?
No, what was the Big Breakfast with Denise Van Outen and Johnny Vaughan? They will never be beaten.
Yeah, but Chris Evans did it, right? He was Chris Evans did the Big Breakfast. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Nah, Denise Van Outen and Johnny Vaughan were the best.
Have I made that up? Chris Evans must have done. Have I made that up? Did he do it? I'm sure he did the Big Breakfast. Yes, he did. Of course he did. Chris Evans presented the Big Breakfast. Producer Joe's looking now.
Nah, them two, man, trust me.
He did? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Johnny Vaughan and Denise Van Outen.
Yeah, they were great. But Johnny did it with Lisa Tarbuck for a long time.
So I remember that.
Yeah, long time. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was Chris Evans and Gabby Roslin. That's who did it. Yeah? Joe's giving me the thumbs up. But I don't know who was first.
Okay, well.
Chris Evans, genius, isn't he?
Legend.
Do you remember Toothbrush? You probably don't remember Toothbrush.
No,
That's unbelievable.
TFI Friday.
Of course, TFI was fantastic. You had a chance to go on that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but I couldn't. You know what I mean?
Imagine walking out there. I mean, that's iconic, that show.
Yeah, so did you.
Yeah, I was playing golf. And I was only called as a backup for you.
Do you know what? Someone's put on here. It's quite funny, actually. But I don't know what you think to this. Ronaldinho was overrated, just like David Beckham. What do you think about that?
Oi. So David,
it's David Charlie.
Why would you read that out?
No, because...
Why would you read that out? Block him. I will not have anyone disrespect David.
Beck's not overrated, but...
Yeah, I love Andy.
Thanks, Dave. I love you too, man.
But, Dino, come on.
No, all I'm saying is you need longevity in the game.
I don't think...
Okay, let me ask you this, right? Well, sorry, Joe. Let me ask you this. If let's just say you had 4 unbelievable years. I don't think it's more than 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you 5.
Just give me 6. Give me 6.
I'll meet you halfway, 5, so we can round number it.
That's not halfway. Halfway's 3.
No, but I said 4, you said 6. I'm giving you 5 in the middle, right? Let's say you had 5.
Yeah.
What's the minimum amount of years you need to be at the top of your game to be considered world class? Like 1 year's not enough.
Nope.
2?
Nope.
3?
Yeah, you're pushing it now.
Minimum of 3.
Yeah.
So we had 2 more than the minimum.
Don't matter. But all 5 of those were unbelievable, spectacular. Put it this way, Ruud van Nistelrooy is one of the greatest strikers in Premier League history, right? You'd say?
Yeah.
He was only at Man United 4 years.
Yeah.
Suarez, was he 4 years?
But his whole career.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the Premier League, he's still regarded as a Premier League great.
Okay, it's interesting. We'll do it for another day, shall we?
Yeah, we used to that.
We're going to start with West Ham. They could only manage a point away to Palace last night. I don't know why I'm talking so high up, but I am. I'll carry it on, actually, till I get to the piece of audio. So, was it an opportunity missed? Question mark.
That's the end, and honours are even at Selhurst Park. The final whistle blows. It's a result that just inches West Ham towards the safety mark, but they've still got a lot of work to do. It's finished Crystal Palace 0, West Ham United 0.
It feels like it's an opportunity missed for West Ham.
I think it's Tottenham playing first, so if they win at Wolves, all of a sudden the pressure flies back onto West Ham when they play Everton.
That's quick audio. I was just telling Benny, my throat's still not right. West Ham, they played out a goalless draw away to Palace. It was live on talkSPORT last night. It leaves them 2 points clear of Tottenham and the relegation zone. But a win would have given them a 4-point gap. Their boss, Nuno Espirito Santo, spoke to talkSPORT afterwards. He said he was pleased with what he saw from his side.
Looking at the game, it's not about the points. It's realizing how hard it was for us. I think in the first half it was balanced, it was intense. We had got a good couple of moments. The combinations in the final third didn't really click. But on the other end, I think we were really solid, compact. Don't allow too many things to Palace, who is always a very dangerous team.
I have to say, I thought it was a real opportunity missed for West Ham. I'm not saying away at Palace is an easy game. It's not easy. There aren't any easy games in the Premier League. But I just thought to add that pressure onto Tottenham, even more so because when Spurs play again, they're away at Wolves, a game they have to and should win. I just thought if West Ham can extend that gap to 4, the pressure Spurs will be under is immense. Now, I've said for a long, long time that I think Spurs will get relegated, right? But Spurs need a win to get out of the mess. And I see them beating Wolves away at the weekend.
Yeah. Even if they've won 1 in their last 9.
Yeah,
against Wolves, that is.
Okay, let me rephrase it. If they're going to get out of the mess, they need to beat Wolves.
Yeah.
And if they beat Wolves, that means West Ham are going to have to win.
Yeah.
I don't know where West Ham's next win will be. I don't know where Spurs is will be. But if Spurs beat Wolves, which is the easiest game out of all the fixtures combined, I wouldn't put my house on West Ham beating Everton, Brentford, Arsenal, Newcastle or Leeds. And if Spurs beat Wolves, West Ham are going to have to beat one of those teams. Or get a few draws, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can't see that happening. So now I'm sort of, I don't really know where my money is as to who's going down now.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought, and I've said to you before, I thought Spurs would survive. I just think they've got a bit more about them. I know they haven't won a game in 2026, a league game, but it probably was a little bit of a missed opportunity last night. To be fair, it could have got a lot worse because they had chances. When Brennan Johnson's header, he probably should have done a lot better with that. Yeah. Goal obviously ruled out, rightly so, with the handball. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult one for West Ham. I mean, they're both playing at the same time, which is quite interesting at the weekend. So at least there's not one almost. Oh my goodness, they've won.
Neither on telly, right? They're both Saturday afternoon.
Both 3 o'clocks. So
I can't remember. You got that stick, haven't you?
What stick?
Huh?
What stick?
So you can watch games.
No, I haven't got no stick.
I thought you got Premier League TV.
Yeah, code, not stick, not stick.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant. Sorry, Darren.
Use the word code, please.
Code. I meant code.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. But yeah, I think West Ham will see it as an opportunity missed. But I said yesterday when we were predicting scores, for me it just had draw written all over it. Palace, I know maybe obviously after getting through in the Europe and going back home and making changes, Palace at home were just quite hard to play against, quite solid, quite rigid in their shape as well. Got players hit you on the counter-attack, can defend deep if they have to. And I think one thing that West Ham, I know they've been in a little bit of better form, they lack creativity. And I think with Somerville and Bowen, probably Bowen, one of his more quieter games, you'd probably say.
Yeah.
But they have to, either way, Spurs or West Ham, they're going to have to do it the hard way. Because you look at, as you said there, West Ham's fixtures, and you start going, hold on, where's the result coming from? But I look at Tottenham's fixtures and I'm thinking, whatever happens with them, because with West Ham playing Everton at home next, Brentford away, Arsenal at home, Newcastle away, Leeds at home, some difficult fixtures there. But for Tottenham, playing Everton and Chelsea last 2 games of the season, you don't want to go into those, especially the Chelsea game, knowing that you need a result.
No. With the 3 before that, Wolves the weekend, Villa away, they won't get anything from that. We have to be realistically, because Spurs fans go, we might.
They might nick a point.
But I don't think they will.
They might.
Really, let's go form guide only, right? Mm-hmm. Villa are going to win. Villa at home. Villa are a good team anyway. Villa at home, they're going to win it.
Yeah.
Tottenham Leeds at home is the only one where you go, you need to step up.
Yeah.
See, Tottenham have got 2 winnable games. Wolves away, Leeds at home. I don't see where West Ham's winnable.
I'm not even sure Leeds at home's are winnable. I mean, yes, on paper, but Leeds went to Old Trafford and won.
Yes, true. That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
So Leeds at the minute are...
Okay, here's what I'll say. Because I want to take calls in it. Spurs are a point behind.
2 points.
2 points behind West Ham, sorry. If Spurs don't beat Wolves, don't beat them, they're down. Because I can only see Wolves as the only time they're going to get a win.
But just say West Ham don't win at Everton.
It doesn't matter because Spurs have got to get a win to get out of the bottom three.
Nah, I'm telling you.
No, they have to. They're 2 points behind.
Between now and the end of the season, Spurs will nick something from somewhere. Even if you least expect it.
Where? If they don't, if they don't beat Wolves, I'm saying. So that leaves 4 games. Nick Villa, no. Nick Leeds, no. Chelsea, no.
There's no reason why they can't get a point against Villa.
Oh, there is, D.
There's no reason why.
The gap between Villa and Spurs is gigantic.
Villa lost to Wolves away 2-0.
Spurs haven't won this year.
I get that. But at some point, okay, but the law of averages tells you they're going to win at some point.
I don't know if it does. Maybe it'll be August or whatever in the Championship.
I think they can nick a result from somewhere.
Who goes down?
We'll see, I don't know about that.
Well, we're going to the phone lines next.
Yeah, I'll have a think about it.
No, you got to tell me now.
I don't know yet.
Okay, my answer to that question is if Spurs don't beat Wolves, they're down.
Okay. I'll have a think and then...
Okay, will you...
Yeah, I need to think about it, though. Can't just spurt out anything.
Or as Ronaldinho would say, I need you to tell me after the break, man.
Okay.
03717223344. Spurs and West Ham fans, who stays, who goes?
Vincent Kompany's side have won their 35th Bundesliga title at the weekend, have made adding another winger this summer a top priority. Gordon's thought to be open to a move to the Bundesliga, even though a starting spot, the Allianz, is not guaranteed. Sources reveal the England international has already spoken to Harry Kane about life in Munich. Newcastle United reported to be willing to sell, providing their valuation of at least £75 million is met. Do you think that there's a possibility that Bayern might balk that valuation, Coisty? 75 million? It's a lot of money. I mean, he's a, good player. Fully fledged England international.
Oh, 100%, mate. 75 million. Far too much. Far too much. Good player. I like him. Hasn't shown any level of consistency in the league. I would say best form's been in the Champions League or certainly Europe. Would he be interested in going? You better believe he would. I mean, if you're Anthony Gordon, crikey, I moved to Bayern Munich. Why would you not?
But because you might not play every week.
I know, I get that. And I was just about to say, you look at it, I've got Musiala, Diaz, Guerrero, I mean, Elise, Harry Kane, Gnabry. He won't start. I mean, if Bayern Munich were playing PSG today and he was in that squad, he wouldn't start, right? He would not start. He would not start a must-win game for Bayern Munich.
this advert? Oh, I thought it was the Nike Jogo Bonito advert. Oh, I didn't like that one. What's this? Oh, it is that one. All right. Oh, yeah, of course it is. There you go.
I mean...
Is it the airport?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few.
This might be the greatest advert ever made.
There's a few.
Football.
So there's this one, which is obviously in the airport. Where Cantona's he's on the plane, isn't he? And he goes, that's one.
Whoever produced this, well...
Right, that's one.
Jogo Bonito one in the cage, you're going to say.
Right, where they're all 3v3s.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But do you remember the one where they stole the football? Edgar Davids. Turan, they're like in a helicopter and they like, remember, go down the rope and they're trying to steal the football. Watch that. That is unbelievable advert.
I'll tell you what's a great advert, football one. When Giggsy signed a new long-term deal with Reebok and they put him playing in the game of football with all the old Man United legends. So like Stevie Coppell was out in the wing, Bobby Charlton passed him, and then he had a shot at the end of it, outside of his...
We just can't have some of the greats, and you come with that advert.
Oh no, it's a great advert. No,
you come with Reebok.
No, because of what they did at the time that had never been done, where you bring the old stars back and put them in the same. That was amazing.
I'll tell you another amazing one. Do you remember before World Cup '94? They had them all on billboards. And it was like, and then he was there doing the overhead kick.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah, but
you know what? We're probably too late. talkSPORT should try and recreate the airport one for the World Cup.
Oh my goodness, how'd you do that?
Because we're all going to wouldn't that be great?
What player would you play?
Beck's probably amazing. Brazilian.
Yeah, you'd be Cantona just sitting on the plane. Because you can't really play, can you? So
I'll take that. You think that's an insult? You'd be Cantona.
But no, you need to. On the break.
Cantona in that advert.
He's sitting because he's Nike.
Brazil one?
Yeah, but he's Nike.
Oh,
he was at King, wasn't he? I remember Carlos just zings it past the plane.
Yeah. Doesn't the ball go through the X-ray machine?
Yeah, but then Ronaldo hits the post and the kids are like, oh.
Yeah. We should so recreate that, shouldn't we? It's too late now.
I cannot remember you can't remember that when they steal that football.
No. Show me the break.
Yeah.
Show me the break. Still to come, we joined in the studio by the voice of boxing, Adam Smith. I should just say that we are, of course, in partnership with our friends at Giacomo. Style and brands for every man. Right. Let's go to the phone lines. We're talking about West Ham and Spurs. Who's more likely to go down? I said that if Spurs don't beat Wolves, they'll go down. If they beat them, they'll stay up. It's as simple as that for me. Reese is a West Ham fan. Reese.
All right, guys.
How are you?
Yeah, not bad. I do think there's a little bit of... we're going off the name of Spurs here. They finished 17th in the league last year. And if the name Spurs wasn't on that team, you'd be thinking, all right, relegation battle's a natural progression.
No, I'm purely looking at the fixtures left.
I'm not. I'm doing it from what Reese just said. Spurs. That's why I just don't think they'll go down. I don't know why.
It's crazy. Don't get me wrong. It's mad that Spurs are in this conversation. It's pretty mad we are. And let's face it, we're two teams that shouldn't be in this position. We've both been mismanaged completely. That's I've got no sympathy for Spurs. I hope they go down. But we're both in this position from similar reasons, really.
But what I'm saying is, I think Spurs have got to find a win to stay up. And I'm saying if they don't beat Wolves, they won't get that win. Irrelevant.
They won in 2026, so I don't know where that win's coming from. I couldn't beat an egg at the minute.
Hold on. I'm not saying they'll beat Wolves. I'm saying if they don't, I think they're down. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite as black and white as that. I mean, we've got Everton home on Saturday. We win, we go 4 points clear of them.
Yeah, but the only thing, Joe, that's easier said than done though, because Everton, to be fair, when you look at away form as well, I mean, Everton are 5th in the Premier League table in terms of away form. So they're decent away from home.
Yeah, I get that, right? But Moyes is doing a Moyes special. There's no well beaters in that team. He's got a solid unit. If we can't get up for a game against our old manager, to give us a little bit of gap between Spurs for a few minutes, we're playing at the same time.
Reece, what do you think he's going to be thinking? After he won a European trophy, and the West Ham fans, not all of them, some of them have kind of hounded him out. What do you think his approach to the game is going to be?
Well, we didn't hound him out. Look at the show that's going on today with Karen Brady and Sullivan. That's what he's working with. Absolute clown show. So they actually retracted a contract offer to him. So that's not. We've had that thrown at us West Ham fans a lot. It's quite frustrating.
Let me ask, because I want to take another call, but just quickly, Reece, you think you're going to stay up?
It's going to be tight, but I think I can't think it's just going to go on this weekend. Spurs ain't won a game all year, and we've picked up a lot of points this year. We drew a Man City at home. We've collected a lot of points. We were 7 adrift in start of Jan.
Yeah.
We've earned a lot of points.
Yeah.
So on form, it's more likely West Ham up than Spurs. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Good call. Thanks for that. Let's go to Tom, another West Ham fan. Hi, Tom.
Hello, guys. You right?
Good, man. Thanks for asking. How are you today?
Yeah, not bad. Just driving home from work.
Nice. Good day at work?
Yeah, not bad.
Good. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to pull Darren up. Are you sure you're not a Spurs fan, Darren?
Why is that?
I don't know. Just the way, like the previous caller said, it's almost like this this idea that Spurs can't be in this position and that, take away the run of form they've had in 2026, they're going to automatically be due a win. Well, you could say that about Chelsea. Chelsea have been awful recently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're probably going to, the law of averages suggests they're probably going to come up with a win, in the next few fixtures. That could be against Tottenham, which they love playing against. And let's not take away, Wolves should be an easy win for Spurs, given that they're down, but they've got no pressure on them. Wolves are a different proposition at their ground, at Molineux. It's not a foregone conclusion. I still think Spurs will go down. I think there'll be an upturn in form. I think they could get maybe 6-7 points. And looking at our fixtures, I think we'll beat Leeds. I think I'm going to say this, I think we'll draw with Arsenal. I know you'll probably take that the wrong way, but I just think Arsenal don't like playing against us. That's probably a fixture they're not looking forward to.
Well, you don't think Arsenal are looking forward to West Ham at home?
No, I don't think they're looking forward to coming to West Ham, no.
You think? I mean, I'm looking at the fixture. I see it's at West Ham. I don't know why you think Arsenal would think that. Like, I understand it, but remember, you lot are desperate for points as well. Like, you might nick a win as well, but at some point, I think Spurs will win the game. They were better against Brighton.
I mean, they look better against Sunderland. I just feel like time's running out. I feel like, Javi Simmons looked like, the only, rose amongst thorns in that game, to be honest with you. They're still really suspect defensively. I think Danso was poor for that second goal.
Let me ask you a question, Tom. I'm going to read you the fixtures. You tell me how many points you're going to get from your remaining fixtures. So you've got Everton at home on Saturday.
Okay, Everton draw. I think we'll draw that.
Brentford away.
I think we'll draw that.
Okay, Arsenal at home.
Draw.
Newcastle away.
Win.
And Leeds at home.
Win.
So you think you're going to go from now to the end of the season? So you're fourth bottom because you've hardly won any games this season. Now you think the last 5 games of the season,
unbeaten and 2 wins.
Unbeaten and 2 wins.
Out of all of those fixtures, the ones say 2 fixtures ago, the one I wasn't looking forward to the most was Palace away. And I know you say earlier, guys, it's an opportunity missed, and I think it was. But Palace are a decent team. I know they've got other Fisher Fries.
Yeah, but Newcastle aren't a bad team.
I know, but you think about Newcastle this year particularly, right? They are a very good team, don't get me wrong, but Newcastle can't hold on to a win. I watched them a couple of games ago against Sunderland. Started off like a house on fire, Anthony Gordon, and the second half they're awful. If they play like that against us, they're gonna lose.
Just to confirm, your last 5 games, you're going to remain unbeaten, draw 3 and win 2. You're going to get 9 points.
I don't think that's completely unrealistic. I mean, the only one I'd say we might lose is Arsenal. Okay, let's be realistic. I reckon we might lose to Arsenal. If it's a 1-0, could be 2-1. But I do fancy us against Leeds. Nothing. I think they'll be safe. They won't have too much to play for. They might even have an FA Cup final to get ready for. Brentford for me haven't been great this month. I think
they're 7th in the Premier League this month.
Yeah, based on the last few fixtures, they've not been as good as they were in January.
They're unbeaten in their last 5.
Yeah, but if you look at it the way they've been playing, like the way they played against Fulham, I don't think they were that good against Fulham.
Unbeaten. I hear what you say. I love football fans for their belief in their team. I get that.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, he thinks they're going to get 9 points, unbeaten in 5. If they do, they stay up. They might win the league. Still to come, we'll be joined in the studio by the voice of boxing, Adam Smith. Good calls. Thank you for that, everyone. First, it's time for a bit of no Googling. After last night's goalless draw between Palace and West Ham, we want to know, what is the most drawn fixture in Premier League history? Good question. Put it down for a draw. The answer to that boxing chat, did you see?
I did see, but...
Any idea?
The one the games that didn't used to be great. Liverpool-Chelsea.
It's not that.
Atrocious.
It's not that. You've got one of the teams. That's all I'll say.
It's not going to be Liverpool.
The answer to that and more is coming up live on Drive and talkSPORT in seconds. Boxing chat with the smudger in the studio. Don't go anywhere.
What about Forest? Last four of European competition, and they moved 5 points clear of the drop zone with that come-from-behind win against Burnley. But, of course, all the headlines are Morgan Gibbs-White. Now, look, he wasn't included in the 35-man squad for the last two England internationals. Yeah. There's been a bit of a clamour for him to be given a chance. Is it too late for him?
No, not at all. And a number of reasons. If he keeps continuing that form, but I mean, his hat-trick was excellent, particularly goals 2 and 3. I thought the header was superb. I thought the finish for number 2, the volley at the back post, was excellent as well, and a good finish for the first one. So it's a brilliant hat-trick. How many times have we said it, Jeff? Those two games, that 35-man squad ended up a good squad to miss, right? Yeah. It really did, because the games, and there was nothing in any of the games where you'd think, oh, he's done himself a lot of good. He's done himself, you know what I mean? Because in terms of the final squad for the Americas, I looked at it, I think there's 3 or 4 players actually in the squad have done themselves more damage than good. So, in answer to your question, Gibbs-White, no, I genuinely don't think it is too late. And I understand the clamour, not just from some of the Forest fans, for him to be in that squad.
Do you think he will be?
If I was going to be brutally honest, I don't think he will be, Jeff. No, I don't. But I can understand the case for him to be in it. And the only thing he can do is what he's doing right now. Scoring goals, play well, and keep Forest in the top flight. And then you give Thomas Tuchel a real... That's all you can do, a real dilemma, or pose him a problem, or ask him a question.
There's no room for error. Pep's told the media Arsenal and City are very aware any slip-ups from now on could cost them everything.
Both teams know we cannot lose or drop points. So now it will be difficult to recover. In our calendar is so demanding. So of course the 3 days and after, but especially when in Everton game the opponents are really, really tough.
Guardiola says it's harder for his team mentally and physically being the chasers in the title race. Does he mean it? He's also confirmed Rodri is out with a groin injury for City's trip to Burnley tomorrow. Ruben Diaz is not back for that game either. City would go top on goal difference. With a win, of course, it would also relegate Burnley. Elsewhere this afternoon, outgoing Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola says the club will be in good hands with his successor Marco Rotze. The ex-Dortmund boss is taking over at the end of the season. Speaking of Europe, Chelsea's Champions League hopes are fading fast after 4 losses on the bounce in which they've scored 0 goals. Liam Rossini's admitted they're in a mess of their own making.
We've made it very difficult for ourselves. We have to be honest and realistic with that, but what we can't do is give up. We have to keep fighting.
Brighton could leapfrog Chelsea into 6th with a win tonight. The game is live on talkSPORT. We understand Jared Branthwaite's season is now over as he faces 2 months on the sideline with a hamstring injury which ends any hopes of a World Cup call-up. Meanwhile, as Baroness Karen Brady departs her role as vice-chair at West Ham after 16 years, how will she be remembered? Alex Crook.
Her legacy will be overseeing the controversial move from Upton Park to London Stadium. They have won a European trophy on her watch, that Conference League success a couple of years ago. But she's been a divisive character, hasn't she? Alongside David Sullivan, there have been big protests from West Ham fans.
There's more on that and everything else on talkSPORT.com.
Ask the question, the most drawn game in Premier League history is who, Darren Bent?
Not Liverpool.
No.
Chelsea.
And 27 draws in 68 games.
No idea.
Manchester United, bizarrely.
I'd never guess that.
Bizarrely. Still to come, we're looking ahead to a huge game between Brighton and Chelsea. It's live on talkSPORT tonight. But now it's time for this.
There's a real feeling that this is the best versus the best.
White's lost control. White has lost control completely.
How many more do you want?
This is The Voice.
Yeah, it's time for The Voice, our weekly feature, where we're joined in the studio by The Voice himself, Adam Smith, for a weekly roundup of all the latest stories. Smudge, how are you?
It's great to be back in the studio.
Yeah, we missed you last week. There's a big old delay and it was awful.
You had earpieces and delays and Usyk. It was all happening, wasn't it?
Anything you want to Darren, before we start boxing?
Yeah. I'm sorry, just choking the league, isn't it?
Oh, choking the league from Smudger.
Yeah. I went to the Emirates for the Liverpool game, which was 0-0, and I said to the Arsenal guys I was with, there is no way you're going to win the league. And then you're so far clear, and you've messed it all up.
What
do you think?
Got nothing for you.
He's out.
Spurs down and Arsenal not to win the league.
Yeah,
Happy days. Big Verge, what a header. 10 minutes into injury time. Come on.
But you're celebrating games like that, are you now?
Big Verge.
Used to be a time
We'll celebrate anything.
Competing for the Premier League. You're right, Smudge?
I'm very good. Yeah, I just came back from Liverpool, actually. We had Ben Whittaker and Molly Meatball McCann. Fabulous, that was. Really
we'll
good.
come on to that in just a moment.
Yeah.
The big news today from the world of sport is Lawrence Okoli has failed a drugs test.
Yeah,
just a quick word. We don't really know too much, and we won't dwell on it. But big news, of course. He was meant to be fighting at the weekend. Where are we at with that now?
Well, he'll be devastated, I'm sure, with it. And I know he's come out online already saying that he's had issues with his elbow, and that all will be sort of revealed. And he's absolutely convinced he'll clear his name. But yes, the adverse findings in the VADA tests mean that he is out of Saturday night's big fight with Tony Yoka in Paris, which is a huge disappointment for everyone in boxing. The heavyweight world on absolute fire. DAZN's heavyweight season, of course. Really disappointing.
Do you know what's much? These things always surprise me because as sportsmen, you've got to be responsible for what goes in and out your body. Certainly in that sport where it's so you're regularly tested. I always think who's to blame in that scenario, because yes, Lawrence Okoli might be if he knew what he was taking or not. We don't know. We've not been proved anything yet. But also as well, the people who are around you. I always wonder, well, who do you blame?
So I'm very close to one of the conditioners of Lawrence Okoli, who's been with him for a long time and hasn't been around him for recent sort of months. Okay. So he was very, very, very surprised about the news and obviously gutted for Lawrence. So I don't know. We don't know what's happened, who's to blame, what the findings are. Lots of questions, and in all of these things, you have to wait until the process is sort of it plays out. I mean, Lawrence obviously was in prime position in the heavyweight division, having won a cruiserweight world title and coming up and looking the part in a really intriguing fight against Tony Yoka. And that's what I'm most disappointed about. Really, really was excited about that. I saw both of them in Nigeria just before Christmas. They fought on the same bill. We were all chatting backstage, and I didn't think they'd share a ring together in Paris at the end of April, but it looked like that would happen. Now it's off. So, it's just gutting.
Just a quick word, and then we'll move on. Any news about the replacement?
No, I haven't heard anything. I'm just still waiting.
Frank Warren working behind the scenes.
There's loads of other shows coming up, so we'll maybe it'll be.
I want to talk to you about Ben Whittaker. You touched on it ever so briefly there. Yeah. I sort of felt that fight went under the radar. No one was going nuts about it. I stumbled upon it. We were talking boxing last week. You and I, no one mentioned it. Obviously, you knew because you were there.
Sure.
But it went under the radar a bit. And what surprised me, I wouldn't say most because it was a great night, but just reminded me of Ben Whittaker's record when he stepped in the ring. Up to that fight, it was 10 fights. Right? Is that right? Have I got that right?
Yeah, so it's his 10th win, yeah. Because he had one draw against Liam Campbell.
Yeah, so 11 fights, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for a guy that has got so much publicity about him, and so he's been talked about by so many people, and Eddie Hearn, of course, newly signed him up. He hasn't had too many fights as a professional.
He hasn't. He had a huge amateur career, obviously,
Yeah.
silver medalist in the Olympic Games. And, he needs some momentum now, Ben. I mean, it went under the radar because Callum Smith's big fight with David Morrell was off. Callum had an injury. I saw him on Saturday night, so hopefully he'll be recovered soon. But Ben steps up to headline the Liverpool show. Molly McCann was on, which was fantastic. Jamie Webster played her out. That was a great night for Molly, and she boxed really well as well. Joe McGrail looked good on the undercard. But it was all set for Ben Whittaker. And this Brian Suarez, he was there as a dangerous opponent, knocked every single one of his victories, the opponents out, apart from one. So a big punch, I think 20 and 21. But he lost a few times. So it was always Ben Whittaker, big favourite, but it was the manner of victory. And I thought he looked terrific. He was punch perfect, precise at jabs, body shot, a little bit of showboating, and then the right hand that finished it. And
what did you make of the finish? Because when I saw it, there was a part of me that, it's a bit far back on his head.
Look, he landed the shot, a couple of body shots before. There was the opening. Right hand comes over the top. They're so quick, I don't think you really can complain.
Where's the cut-off on there? Where can you not hit? Where's
it's the side of
behind,
the head, right? The temple shot's the side of the head.
That's
if you
fine.
go around the back,
that's bad.
And it's one of those that's a bit of a grey area, I guess, but the punch is so quick.
Is it illegal, punch on the back of the head?
The punch on the back of the head is illegal.
Okay, but
the side is fine. So
towards the back is where it was, right?
Exactly. It's that sort of grey area, wasn't it? But ultimately, it was a stunning knockout. Suarez was never going to get back up from it. And anyway, the body shots really hurt him before that. So it was all going to finish within a round or two. And it just, I suppose, that slight controversial, the corner complaining, the Argentinian corner, just took the shine off it ever so slightly. But I thought it was a fantastic performance from Whittaker. I thought he looked really sharp, and I think he's hitting harder under Andy Lee, and I think that's really important because a lot of people saying it's a hugely competitive division, the light heavyweights, some big monsters, big names out there, the Bivels, the Betebievs, huge elite fighters. Ben Whittaker has been criticised for not having the power, maybe, but I think he's shown it in the last three fights. He's had 2 first-round wins and a second-round win in the rematch over Liam Cameron. The boy's hitting now as well as his skills. I think he's going places now.
Well, that was going to be my question. When do we start to see the step up? Because, listen, he's not going to get in there with Bivol or Beterbiev. Those guys are just different animals. But on a domestic level, people like Buatsi, Anthony Yard, Callum Smith might be a little bit step. There are fights here for him, but when are we going to see him make that?
So he's going to fight at the end of June in America on the Boots Tennis card. So that's good. Get him out to the global audience. Then he's going to come back here late summer, maybe early September, and fight in Birmingham in a big fight. And I think that will be against one of the British names, whether it will be a Lyndon Arthur or a Brad Ray or a Craig Richards, or there's so many of them. But I think, yes, the Buatsis and Yards need to happen at some point within the next 6 to 12 months, and then we can see where we are.
There was a bit of showboating in that round, was he turned his back on his fighter, walked over to the right. I like all that.
So
I
do
like
I.
all that.
So do I.
But some people, they frown upon it, right?
Some people do, and I think Ben was doing a lot of that in the first 3 or 4 fights of his pro career, and then he had that difficult night with Liam Cameron the first time, and maybe he just shelved it, but people like to be entertained, and he is box office. Look at him come out. He just oozes charisma and star quality, and Eddie loves him. And when Eddie loves a fighter, the two of them are made for each other. I think we're going to have a fun ride with Ben Whittaker.
I'm a big fan
He's
of
in a
his.
good division with some serious guys. Woo!
Fights.
Yeah.
Great fights. And he says he can beat them all. Let's see.
Yeah. Smudge, you're going to stay with us for another 15 minutes. Right, let me remind you, it's heavyweight season on DAZN. We'll talk about this in just a moment. On May the 9th, Fabio Wardley makes his first defence of his WBO heavyweight title. That's against the former IBF champion Daniel Dubois in Manchester. May the 23rd, it's glory in Giza as Usyk faces a Dutch kickboxing champion, Rico Verhoeven. Is that how you say it?
Verhoeven.
Yeah, that's what I said. With the WBC heavyweight title up for grabs. A bit farcical, but still. Join DAZN Ultimate now. Get 12 plus pay-per-views a year, including Wardley against Dubois and Usyk against Rico at no extra cost.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
Simon and I touched on this yesterday, but there are alarm bells ringing if they miss out on Champions League football, Chelsea, but more than that, if they miss out in Europe. Now, they produced the biggest loss ever in Premier League history, 262 million for 24-25. Tell me about the damage that could be inflicted on them if it results in no Champions League football, if it results in no European football at all.
Yeah, the Champions League thing is obviously a very, very significant issue for a club with their cost base and with their losses and their run rate losses. And they are telling everybody that is asking that they are operationally profitable right now, whatever that means. It seems to me that it can only mean that you have to strip out all of the player amortization, which is about 260 million quid this year. So sure, if you strip out one of the biggest lines in your P&L,
you can make that claim.
Then maybe you are operationally profitable. But to be frank, even then, it's a bit of a challenge going forward because they won't have the Club World Cup money. And if they drop out of the Champions League, obviously they'll also drop £80 million of UEFA prize money. It might be mitigated by a Europa Cup, maybe a Europa Cup final, which will give them, Spurs got 35 last year, so maybe 40.
Drive and talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent is here in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Still can't be asking what is next for some of the players out of contract this summer. Just quickly, Atletico Madrid are interested in Tottenham's captain Christian Romero this summer. And
that's old news. That they were interested in him at the start of the season.
All right, I don't write that.
No, I'm Sam.
Why don't you have a pop at Joe, the producer?
Never, Joe.
Well, you just have a pop at me, I didn't mind. This weekend, we were talking about this before. The weekend's boxing card in Paris involving Lawrence Okoli is officially off after Okoli returned an adverse finding following an anti-doping test. Adam Smith is with us in the studio. Quick question for you. When's Mike Tyson fighting Floyd Mayweather?
I don't care.
Well, that was meant to be a fight, right? I see it nowhere in the calendar. Is that off?
Two legends. Why?
Don't talk about me and Bentley like that.
And when's Pacquiao Mayweather?
Well,
that's gone quiet.
September the 19th. Isn't it happening?
I don't know. It's
Well, I've read something the other day that Pacquiao wants it to be a proper fight and Floyd's that exhibition. So
don't know. Mayweather Pacquiao, when it happened, it was too late anyway. It was an amazing build-up, but we should have had three of them by the time it actually happened. And now we're 11 years later?
Yeah, pointless.
Still watching
AJ, before we get down to fights, we know what's happening with AJ. When's he fighting?
I spoke to Eddie the other day, and I think that they're looking at a potential return in July against. Makhmudov keeps sort of putting his name in the reckoning for that.
Where would that be, here?
Possibly Saudi Arabia, possibly here, possibly America.
Stadium fight, Wembley Stadium, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a sort of
O2.
Yeah, it's a comeback fight for him. I mean, ultimately, he lost to Daniel Dubois. That was
savage.
2024, autumn 2024, and since then he's only had those few rounds with Jake Paul. So I think after everything that's happened, and people keep asking me about AJ, and I keep saying to them, hang on a minute. Not even many weeks ago, he was in an incredibly tragic accident where his two best friends died and he has had to physically and mentally recover. And people are having a pop at him for what happened with Tyson Fury the other night, etc.
Oh,
come on.
Are they bad, man?
Do you know what?
I'm stunned about that.
Do you know what? I just think he came to support Derek Chisora because he's his mate. He looked really good at the O2. It was great to see him, but he's rebuilding. He's gone to Alexander Usyk's gym. He's spending time with him. Let's give him a few months to get himself going. And he wants to fight, great. We'll have him fighting in July. We'll have him fighting Tyson Fury. But just let's think of life as opposed just to boxing.
Okay.
I completely forgot about the Jake Paul fight.
Yeah, me too. That was insane. I think it's fair to say the biggest fight on paper over the next few months is Fabio Wardley against Daniel Dubois, May the 9th.
Huge fight.
Few weeks off that one.
Huge fight.
We were talking about this earlier on. We all sort of agree that Wardley wins, knocks out Daniel Dubois early on, 4, 5 or 6 rounds.
I think that's what the majority of people are saying. However, Daniel Dubois has, a 95% knockout record. He's very, very well skilled. Look what he did to Joshua. If he gets behind his jab,
I agree with that.
He's incredibly dangerous. So, and he's with Don Charles again, and I think they've got a great bond. They had a fantastic comeback after the first Usyk fight, beating the likes of Baby Miller. Great win over Hrgovic, and the fight with Joshua. Just because he's been beaten by Alexander Usyk, which everybody has, people are sort of not writing him off, but they're saying that Wardley is definitely a real favourite going into this. Now, Fabio's got real momentum, of course, and he's tough and he's strong, but he was outboxed for many rounds by Justice Hooney. And Daniel Dubois has got real pedigree. If he believes in himself, he could easily win by knockout. However, Wardley may just be able to out-tough him, outlast him. I just think it's going to be 6 rounds of mayhem, and you just don't know. They're calling it Don't Blink, which I think is one of the best titles, one of the best names for a heavyweight explosion you can have, because it really is that sort of fight.
Do you know what, Smudge? That's why I give Wardley the edge, because I'm not quite sure how much heart Dubois has got. As a terrific puncher. What he did to AJ was, wow, incredible.
You're going to talk about Usyk, aren't you?
But the Usyk one, when he went down, and I know it was a good punch from Usyk, but when he got back and he just casually walked to his corner, almost like, I don't want any more of this. I've seen Fabio have to dig in many to that first Fraser Clark fight where his face was a mess. The Justice Hooney fight, he's had those fights where he's had to really dig in and find something from somewhere.
Daniel hits harder than Fraser.
But I think Fabio will, if he can take it, he'll get up and take it. I think Dubois' heart could go a lot more quickly than Fabio's could.
I think it's difficult to question a heart of a fighter when they're getting in there, and he's had a lot of good wins. Yeah, he had the Joe Joyce defeat, but he's come back. He's come back. He's a very keen, hungry fighter, and he's a dangerous fighter. Look, we saw Fraser Clark. Everyone was writing him off. I thought he was really good against Justice Hooney the other night. Didn't get the decision, and rightfully so. I thought he just missed out. But, heavyweights can keep coming back, and I think that Dubois is extraordinarily dangerous in this fight. I think Wardley does start a favourite, but I think it's a narrow margin. And has Fabio Wardley been in with a puncher like Dubois? I don't think he has. I don't think Joe Parker hits as hard as Dubois. And Dubois got nothing to lose. It's the expectations probably on Fabio to defend his title. And Dubois is going to go in and he's going to be a wrecking ball, I think.
Just a quick one. There used to be a time where I'd frown at a lot of these fights that are just mismatches or not really boxing matches.
Well, that's a good one. Wardley Dubois.
No, not that one. Not that. Of course, that's a great fight. I'm talking about Tommy Fury against Eddie Hall.
My eldest daughter, Jessamy, loves Tommy Fury. Right. So I think there's a generation that just adore him. They're watching Home with the Furies. They love that thing. It's the strongest man against... it's an attraction.
I know, but what I was going to ask you was, Tommy Fury makes a lot of money out of so-called glorified exhibitions, right? I don't have a problem with that at all. If that's his level and he makes lots of money, it's all about...
Do you want me to sort out some glorified exhibitions for you, Andy?
It depends on if this sort of money...
Who do you want?
I'll take Max Rushton.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah? Okay.
I'd love to weave his head into the canvas here.
I think there's a...
And I'll be doing it for the public. Not for me. I'll be doing it for the British public. Who would you like to have a fight with, Smudge?
I'll commentate. Darren, you?
I'll be next year. I'll commentate.
What do you make of this fight, Fury against Eddie Hall? Is it just a bit of nothing?
Yeah.
A bit pointless, is it?
I mean, it's not. You can't compare.
No, I'm not comparing. I just wonder.
So I think.
But the reason I'm asking, there was a time where you'd look at that and you get irate and wound up and go, what's the point? But now these two different types of boxing matches, I think they've got their own place in the sport, right?
Look, I'm I'm happy so long as matches are fair. Okay? That's the big thing for me. It doesn't really matter what level it's at. You can have area level, you can have YouTube level, you can have world title level. So long as they're sort of good matches and we see decent scraps, that's great. And some trade fans are going to turn their nose up at the likes of Tommy Fury going into that, but I don't. I think it's bringing new eyeballs in, and I think if people are choosing boxing, why not? I think it's fantastic, and DAZN have got a huge mixture of fight sports, and it's wonderful to have so much on. And yes, I'm a boxing commentator, but I'll be watching those sort of things.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Another one for me, Hrgović versus Dave Allen.
Yeah, it's a tough fight for Dave, that. I think, look, it's at Doncaster Stadium. It's a wonderful homecoming for him. He deserves it. I hope everyone gets there and supports him. He's a good fighter, Dave. This is a tough one because Hrgović is El Animal. He's strong, he's hard, and he may not be the elite of the heavyweight division, but he's very tough to beat. Daniel Dubois did it, but he had to take a lot of lumps and bumps. And for Dave Allen to do it, he's going to have to put on a really amazing performance. But he's got a chance. It's two heavyweights. He's got home advantage. The Echo Power Stadium will be bouncing on May the 16th. And he's one of the most loved characters in British boxing. So we wish him well.
So are you. Thank you for coming in. If people aren't watching, they'll be listening to you, and they won't know that you're wearing yellow dungarees. Why is that today?
Why are you late show with David Letterman, I noticed?
You like that, my jumper?
I do like it. Very, very nice. Yes. Well, have you been on it?
Twice.
Twice?
Yeah. He doesn't know. I was hiding. Smudge, always a pleasure.
Smudge. You're in the crowd, weren't you?
We will see you next Tuesday.
Definitely.
Can't wait for it. It's a date, 4:30 every Tuesday. We love it.
Absolutely, love it too.
Have a nice weekend. When we come back, we're looking ahead to a big game that's live on talkSPORT tonight, Brighton against Chelsea. Now, Brighton have bought off Chelsea. It's a little bit nuts. Players.
Chelsea bought off Brighton.
Yeah, sorry. That equate to £258 million. Over £250 million Chelsea have given Brighton. If Brighton win tonight, they go above them. What on earth is all that about? I think it would have been cheaper to buy Brighton. 03717223344. Brighton and Chelsea fans, you can call in and have your say right after this live on Drive on talkSPORT.
Of course, you've been working hard for once and have worked out how many points City and Arsenal will
got
finish
it all
on.
sorted. Just to clarify, put everybody's mind at rest. City next game, Burnley 3 points, Everton away a point, beg your pardon, Brentford home 3 points, Bournemouth away 1 point, Palace at home 3 points, Villa 3 points. That means they're going to get 14 points. Arsenal, Newcastle at home 3 points, Fulham at home 3 points, West Ham away 1 point, Burnley at home 3 points, Palace away 3 points. Arsenal are winning it by 2 points. Let's move on.
Arsenal winning it by 2 points.
Yes.
Just run through those again for me.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
City, go through the City game. What you give City? 3v Burnley.
Yes.
Yeah.
1 at Everton.
All right, okay.
3 at is it Brentford?
Yeah.
1 at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
3 at Palace and 3 at Villa.
14.
Yep.
And you give Arsenal
3 at Newcastle.
Yeah.
3 at Fulham.
Yeah.
1 at West Ham, 3 at Burnley, and 3 at Palace.
Well, that's 13.
Correct. But remember, I've got a game in hand. Arsenal,
so you're saying City win it?
No. Remember, because City have played 1 game less.
Yes.
And they're 3 points behind.
Right. Okay, yeah. 60.
You got it?
Yeah. Okay. But you're giving... this is working well, isn't it?
I said to you, Ollie,
so
this is going to be a disaster.
From their remaining 5 games, you are giving City 13 points.
Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Welcome back to another 2 of Drive Time on talkSPORT. Yes, me. And Darren Bent's here as well for the ride.
They watched the documentary series I'm going to bring out. It'll be even better.
We saw Naz before when he walked into H&J. I do love Prince Nassim. He's a bit of a legend, isn't he? Well, we know that, but he's such a lovely fella. Right, still to come on our show, we'll be asking what is next for some of the players out of contract this summer. But now, there is another big old game. And, of course, it's live right here on talkSPORT tonight.
Headed back across goal by Gomez, and there's Welbeck! Danny Welbeck from close range, puts Brighton in front.
They want to give the best for Brighton because they're fully committed. You can see it in every training session, you can see it in every performance that they give their best, so therefore that's their main focus now.
The full-time whistle has gone. Stamford Bridge engulfed in boos, and Manchester United, they've beaten Chelsea by a goal to nil. The first time that Chelsea have lost 3 consecutive home games in the Premier League for 31 years.
It'll be interesting to see how much resolve the ownership have with their vision for what they believe Liam Rosenior was going to become.
I'm going to make more mistakes, every coach does, but with the guys here, how they support me, because we all want success for the club, we can be open and honest about that.
Yeah, Chelsea, they go at Brighton. It's live on talkSPORT tonight, looking to put their run of 4 league defeats and no goals. There's the big one for me, no goals to an end. They've slipped 7 points behind the Champions League spots. They are 3 points ahead of 12th place Fulham, just 3. The boss, Liam Rosenior, has been speaking to the media ahead of the game, and he was asked whether it's time to forget about the process for now and simply find a way to win.
We do. It's a process, the process of how we work to win a game. That's a process. How we train, how we deliver meetings, what the tactics are, that's a process. The process is to win at every game that we play. So when I use the word process, you have a short-term process and you have a long-term process. For me, the idea from day one, I've said it from coming into this club, is to win now. It's simple. This is what this club demands, and we're not doing that. So all of the noise and all of the things that people are talking about, it's normal in this moment. The process now for me is to win the game tomorrow against a very good team in Brighton.
Do you want a little stat about Liam Rosenior? In the first 16 seconds of that answer, he said the word process 8 times, averaging 1 process every 2 seconds. What do you make of that?
No,
you know what's wrong with it, do you? You know
see,
what's wrong with it.
This is the problem I've got, right, is that listen, he's not getting results on the pitch, I get it. But people now are starting to just attack the way that he talks, man.
No. Don't give people a reason to attack him.
Yeah, but he's not talking like he's not doing it as...
That's not how he talks, you know that.
No, but he's talking about the process and Chelsea. The only part of that argument I don't understand is he talks about the process is to win now.
To score a goal would be nice.
Yeah, but you get that, right? But the process is to win now. Chelsea are not giving him the tools to win now.
Oh, you're talking garbage.
Yeah, okay. Well, I gave
Chelsea's players are better than their current situation.
And every club goes for that. But they're not giving him players to win what? Win a game of football. Okay, I get it. But to win major honours, what Chelsea were at one point.
No. Chelsea are better than they're playing. And here's the reason they're not playing well.
Yeah, Chelsea are better than they're playing. Arsenal better than the way that they're playing.
No, but I'm not talking about other stuff.
No, but I'm just giving you examples.
Okay, here's the thing. I have to be consistent, right? If it was Ange Postecoglou, I'd sit here going, he's useless, he's rubbish, get him out. Mm-hmm. When he went to Forest, when he signed for Forest, the day he signed, I said on this show, I think they need their heads examined. He's a useless manager. I said that about Postecoglou.
I don't know about useless, but...
No, but that's what he said. I didn't hold back, right? Mm-hmm. I'm allowed to say what I think, and I need to be consistent. Otherwise, people go, well, you said that about him, but you're not saying it about him. I think... No, I'm serious.
God,
I'm serious. I think Liam Rosenior is a terrible manager.
No, see, I don't think he's terrible, but I
do.
As I said yesterday, I think the Chelsea Football Club is just a bit big for him. Like, Ruben Amorim is not an awful manager, but Man United was too big for him. He's not an awful manager.
You say Man United was too big, but Ruben Amorim could have quite easily, if he was a good manager, seen the formation wasn't working and changed it to a 4.
So you think he's an awful manager?
No, I do think he's an awful manager.
No, but I don't understand.
But why a good manager, even a non-league manager, even someone playing Football Manager, would have seen, results aren't working, let's change it. And I can watch the game, Man United, I can watch through at the back, and I've never been a manager, I've never been a player, but even I know that 3 doesn't work. And if he was a good manager, he would have worked it out himself.
So I just think, because he got success at Sporting, playing the same system.
Man United are 3rd. Yeah, with the same players.
And that's my point.
And Michael Carrick ain't going to be manager of the season.
No, but I think that the club for Ruben Amorim is just too big for him. That's why he didn't get results.
Mate, give it a go.
But he's not a bad
Play 4 at the back, mate.
He's not a bad manager.
But he is a bad manager.
No, I just think
he's a bad manager. Play 4 at the back, mate.
No, it's not. I don't think he's a bad manager.
He dropped Kobbie Mainoo.
And
Kobbie's been brilliant since he came back.
Okay, but that's just maybe... But that might be partly down to Ruben Amorim and partly down to Kobbie's attitude and his brother wearing stupid T-shirts.
Well, why is his attitude like that? Because he's fallen out with the manager?
No, that's not always the manager's fault. Sometimes, and that's the problem.
I'm sorry, mate. Ruben Amorim has been shown to have been a charlatan for the way Man United are playing now with the same players under a manager with very little experience in the Premier League.
Yeah, but my point is that at Sporting, he was very good, which is why he got that managerial job. Like Man United wouldn't have given it to him if he was an awful manager.
I don't know. The managers do get jobs if they're awful.
Like who? Give me one example.
Ange Postecoglou.
He's not obviously not awful. He won Spurs' trophy the first time.
That's the anomaly.
Well, it's not an anomaly.
Okay, Liam Rossini. I think he's an awful manager.
Okay, I don't think he's awful because he wasn't awful at Strasbourg.
But I don't know. You don't know Strasbourg's history.
My point is,
how did he go to Strasbourg?
He got that job off the back of being under the blue co-ownership. He probably did.
That's why he got it.
But he also got them into Europe. Strasbourg.
So look, he got the job because they want a puppet. They want someone.
That's
they
also
can...
Strasbourg's the first time in 40 years they got into Europe.
Right. He got the job because Chelsea want a manager where they can call the shots and they can pull the strings. That's why he got it. That's why they probably got rid of Thomas Tuchel. That's why they probably don't want a big name manager, because a big name manager would go in and go, no, I'm doing it my way.
Okay.
In this case, they've got a manager who they can go, you're doing this, you're doing that.
Yeah, potentially.
And we saw that when Enzo had a 3 or 4 game ban, and in his press conference he said, we've decided. Now, a great manager or a top manager or someone that's in charge of a club will never use the word we've decided. I've decided. I'm in charge. Buck stops with me.
My point is I'm saying Chelsea Football Club, yes, it's probably too big for him, which is why it's not working. But it still doesn't make him an awful manager.
Well, from what I've seen, I don't see anything other than
Yeah, but you haven't seen him before he got to Chelsea.
No, but you ain't seen him at Strasbourg.
Well, I've obviously seen his record.
Yeah, but you don't know what the league's like.
Yeah, but all I know is that he got them into Europe for the first time in 40 years, which is a decent job.
Yeah, that is good. He did well there.
Right,
In England, he's been terrible.
Right, because he's gone straight to the top job.
Okay, but I can only mark him in England.
Actually, weren't bad at Hull. Actually, obviously, he was unfortunate to lose his job at Hull because he's actually done a really good job there at Hull City.
Okay, from what I've seen in the Premier League...
Yeah, but he's gone to a top club.
Okay, well, I can only mark him out of that.
He put it. Even someone like... Do you
think he's a good manager?
At Chelsea, too big for him. But even Ruben Amorim, Kevin Atchard, who we all love, was singing his praises. But Man United just too big for him.
Yes, I know. So I'm only marking them out of 10 from what I've seen in the Premier League.
Okay.
Ruben Amorim out of 10, 0.
Yeah, but you can't... It was not 0.
Okay, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't say they're awful managers.
In Chelsea's dugout, he's awful.
Okay, I'll give you an example. For a player's perspective.
Right.
Diego Forlan at your gaff was bad. It was terrible.
For goal scoring, he was.
No, he was bad.
No, but as a player, he was a good player, but he didn't score goals, which is what he's paid to do. I'll give you that, yeah.
So, but then he's not a bad player.
No, but his time at Man United wasn't good.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't make him a bad player. He went for a bad experience.
I don't get why you're backing Liam Rossini so much.
I'm just saying.
If I put all the stats in front of you and didn't tell you what it was, I went, have a look at this manager. I won't tell you his name. You'd go, he's terrible.
You don't listen to what I'm saying. Chelsea is too big for him. I've just said that, but he's not an awful manager. No. He just hasn't worked at Chelsea.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. At Chelsea, he's awful.
He's been bad, but I think the job is too big for him. But him at Strasbourg was decent. He did a good job at Hull as well. Really good job at Hull. But only because he's failed at the top job, which he probably wasn't even ready for. He probably in his own mind didn't envision himself being Chelsea manager so early on.
Okay, let's move it on from there, right? Because this wasn't what we were going to talk about. We were going to talk about how big this game is tonight. And the fact this is an interesting stat because since the owners of Chelsea have bought the club 4 years ago in 2022, they've paid Brighton £258 million for various staff and players.
That's crazy.
Which I think is insane. Brighton go above them tonight with a win. The players they've spent or they bought from Brighton: Pedro £55 million, Buonanotte £2 million on loan, Caicedo £100 million, Sanchez the keeper £20 million, Cucurella £57 million, Graham Potter and his backroom staff £22 million. Over a quarter of a billion. They could. I reckon they could probably buy Chelsea for about. Buy Brighton for about £1 billion.
Yeah.
It does feel like a big summer coming up for Chelsea, right? It looks like they need a complete change in direction in terms of the players they buy and hire, right?
But that's the thing. They need a complete change in terms of the model that they're currently working with. Now, out of the signings they've made at Chelsea, I would say only up until this point, Caicedo and Cucurella are the only two that's worked.
Yeah, I agree.
The ones they bought from Brighton. Now, João Pedro might go on to be really decent and get them to where they want to get to. I personally don't think he wins the league, right? Buonanotte didn't understand that one. Sanchez, the goalkeeper, he's actually done all right this season, but they can still do better. I think it's huge for them, but they've got to change their model. They've got to stop buying young, and they've got to start buying proven, because that's the only way I think you get back to where you need to get to.
Don't you think that's insane that people have bought a football club, spent over $250 million, and because they know nothing about football, they've got it completely wrong? It's frightening, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of the decisions and the quality. Like, even the managerial situation, I thought Potter was the wrong decision was sacking Thomas Tuchel first and foremost. Right?
100% right.
I almost felt like Graham Potter was the next man logically on the kind of radar because of what he'd done at Brighton. I thought he was ready to go to the next step.
But you made a good point. The longer he was out of work, the better he became.
And then he went to West Ham. And
very bizarre that, yeah.
But Chelsea, the whole structure needs to go, do you know what? Enough's enough. This is what we need to do. We need to start. If a player comes up and they're 28, but they're ready to go, you go, yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
We're in for him. None of this buying them really, really young, selling them, because I look at Chelsea, there's no leadership.
No.
There's no kind of recognised, when I say recognised players, there's no kind of like...
There's no Chelsea players. There's no John Terry, Ashley Cole.
No,
Petr.
there's no spine of the team.
There's no spine. There's no guts in that team.
No spine. So I think not only for the manager's sake, but I think for the club, if they want to get back to the Chelsea that we certainly knew for a long time,
yeah,
they need to change the whole model.
Yeah,
needs to change.
but this is the problem when businessmen buy a football club. They know a lot about business, nothing about football. We'll take your calls. How on earth have Chelsea done what they've done? How have they got it so wrong? And of course, Brighton fans, you can phone up and talk about the game tonight as well. Live on talkSPORT. We'll have team news ahead of that as well. What do you think the score will be, by the way?
Oh, it's going to be a tough
Big
one.
game. Imagine Brighton go above them.
I mean, Brighton's a tough place to go, but Chelsea, I mean, Brighton at the minute are what, 9th? They win their game, they go 50 points. They go 6th.
Unbelievable.
Oh, jeez.
Big game. How have the Chelsea owners got things so wrong? 03717 223344. That's where we go after this. Live on Drive and talkSPORT.
Seen Arsenal. Nicola touches fire. Be fire. You ever win? Never beat with the dog. Do me a favour, Mike. Geo. Lose this device. What does that mean? Device. Can you hear me? You're going to win hell of a beat. The quadruple. The treble. The treble. The double. Hybrid. Richard Cripps FC. Set piece FC. Can you hear me? Set piece FC. You're going to win hell of a beat. Gunnosaurus. Here's Morgan. Can you hear me? Greatest club side in the world. You're going to win hell of a beat in Matt Lucas OBE. Sharpie, Ben. Can you hear me, Sharpie? Can you hear me, Sharpie? You're going to win hell of a beating. North London forever. Can you hear me? Lost and liver. You're going to win hell of a beating.
What a weekend in the Premier League. Arsenal have gone and bottled it again. The gift that keeps on giving. Arteta's fire wasn't enough to get anything at the Etihad. Man City now have the chance to go top on Wednesday. That game's live on talkSPORT. Give us a call. Arsenal fans, have you bottled it? 03 717 223344. Elsewhere tonight, West Ham, they failed to take advantage of Spurs dropping points. De Zerbi, though, he got his first point in charge at Spurs. It was my wedding day, and I cannot believe what Kevin Danso is doing in the 95th minute.
Welcome back to Drive on talkSPORT. I'm Andy Goldstein, he's Darren Bent, and we are here in partnership with Giacomo, the wonderful people at Giacomo. Style and brands for every man. Still to come, well, this is a nut story. We're talking about Leicester's imminent relegation to League One. I mean, that is just insane, that.
Crazy.
Just quickly, Romelu Lukaku has held clear the air talks with Napoli after failing to turn up for training back in March.
There's always saying with Lukaku.
Yeah.
I was a big
wasted
fan of
talent.
No, I mean, his goal record's crazy. So he's not wasted, but certainly had couple of good years here. No, I thought he was going to be the missing piece at Chelsea. That didn't work. Didn't work at United, really. Even though first season he was very good at United.
He was
brilliant at Everton.
Was brilliant at Everton.
Yeah, brilliant at Everton. So I think Evertonians still look back at that time. But,
how old is he now? Could he go back there?
oh, imagine you get him. Do you know, I want to say Lukaku.
That's unbelievable, Cole.
I think he's over 30, so.
That's perfect, right? You get him for next to nothing.
32.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, see, okay. If Everton get European football,
yeah,
bring him back for a year, would Everton fans like that?
He was unbelievable. You know, at Everton, he was unplayable.
Is that a homecoming?
Yeah, they love him.
Would be. We do that tomorrow, Joe. Yeah.
He was, you know, he was unbelievable at West Brom. People forget about that.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
He smashed an hat-trick against your lot last game of the season.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I blanked that out. Was that in the mad scoring game?
5-3 or something.
Yeah, I do remember that actually. Brighton boss Fabian Hertzler
5-5.
has been speaking. I think that's where Rio scored, right? Well, absolute banger, Rio, didn't he? Smashed it in.
Did he?
Remember that? Fergie's last game, right? Yeah,
5-1.
I do remember that. Have a look at Rio's goal. It was unbelievable. Brighton boss Fabio Hertzler has been speaking to the media ahead of tonight's game at home to Chelsea. It's a game you can hear live right here on talkSPORT. He said Liam Rosenior's side are not far away from clicking.
Yeah, I think that they have individual quality to beat every team in the league. They are not on their best run, but like you mentioned, they play good football. They showed a good performance. So that's why it's very important for us to keep doing the basic things right, to keep doing the things on the highest level, on the highest standards, because I think this will be the main bit against Chelsea.
We'll take calls on that 03717 22334. Just before we do, let me tell you, in the World Snooker Championships, Ronnie O'Sullivan 6-2 up in his first round match. George is a Chelsea fan. Hi, George.
Evening, guys. How you doing?
Good. Very well. How are you today?
Not too bad. I'm just driving home now to watch the game in the pub this evening.
Right.
Not very hopeful. I just wanted to. I'm a season ticket holder. Every game when we leave, we're always saying the same thing. No, not a single player in the Chelsea squad which other teams are looking at the moment to sign. And I think that's where our big downfall's been for the last couple of seasons. I mean, Palmer's been off the ball. Even Caicedo's not playing at the level he was playing at the beginning of the season. And, I can't see a way out unless we start changing this model of buying the young players. We need to buy some experienced players.
I just don't get the model. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
It's just,
like, who are you buying that's cheap and selling for a profit at the moment? I mean, you're spending 50, 100 million pounds on players. I just don't understand it.
No, I mean, we're selling a few players to smaller clubs. Like Burnley's taken a few players off us for the financial fair play rules. But no one's going to take these players on the contracts they're on from us.
And do you know what, though? I mean, how much did you buy Cole Palmer for? Because, of course, he
50.
I think it was less than that. 40. I think it was like 40.
I think it was 45 million or something.
If you were to sell him now, he's going for near 100. So there's some.
He is. But Brighton are doing what Chelsea want to do.
Yeah, which is...
Yeah, but Chelsea are buying them.
Yeah, that's true.
Just makes
but I think even if Caicedo went, I think Caicedo's going for more than they bought him for.
How much are you buying for? 80?
100.
Oh, Cucurella went for about 70.
50, he went 50.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Who did they buy for 70 then?
70?
Yeah.
They bought 70 million. João Pedro he was 63.
All right.
Cucurella was, it was, I don't think anyone's 70.
Is it not?
No. But I think you try and get Caicedo. Caicedo could play for any team in the world. Any team in the world.
Yeah, I think you rate him a little bit higher than I do.
What?
I think you rate him a little bit. I think he's a very good player.
You said Cole Palmer was a genius.
I did say Cole Palmer was a genius. He's letting me down a bit at the moment, isn't he?
You said you swapped Bruno for him right now.
No. Again, Miss.
I
said I'd swap him for Bruno if it meant longevity, not for this season.
For the next 3 years. Right, I'm giving it to you right now.
Is Bruno staying for the next 3?
No, but you lose.
Oh, yeah, I'll keep Bruno for 3.
Okay, for the next 5 years, you have Palmer for the next 5 years, or Bruno. I'm offering you that right now.
How old is Bruno? What is Bruno? 31? 28? What is he?
I don't know.
I don't know how Bruno is. I'll keep Bruno.
Oh, so you don't want Palmer then?
I'll keep
So
Bruno.
he's not a junior. Okay, fair enough.
I'll keep Bruno. He's going to win PFA Player of the Year. William's a Chelsea fan. Hi, William.
Hello, lads. How's it going?
Good. How are you today? Oh, dear.
Optimistic. Let's go with optimistic. I mean, this game is quite important for us, and I mean, I'm not going to blame Liam for the position that he's in. As you said, he couldn't exactly turn down the job when he works for the company itself. But as you said, that I think even like losing Tuchel, you look at the Pochettino situation. He had multiple injuries that season and still did a really good season. And losing Thiago Silva that season, obviously at the end of his contract. And the model is the same thing. The model isn't working. You're not going to get into this top 6 with the model as it currently is. I'm going into tonight and I'm looking, I mean, I don't know if João Pedro is he fit to play tonight? So we're going to have probably Delap up front.
William, let me ask you a question, right? This might be a little bit in terms of arrogant because of the Chelsea Football Club, where they've been. But if you're not going to get in the Champions League this season, would you rather miss out on Europe altogether? Like you wouldn't want to play in the Europa League or the Conference League?
I would take Europa, but Conference I'd fob it off. I think it would cost us too much money to go to the Conference League. Yeah. I don't think there's any point.
And you won it recently, right?
I said we won it recently, and I think it was a good experience for the young players that we did have to go out and just play a little bit of European football around different things. But when your stadium's bigger than the final, there's a big question to be asked, like, we shouldn't really be playing this. It's like an under-21s for a stature like Chelsea Football Club. And so I said, like, Real Betis was probably the 1 or 2 teams in that entire Conference League that was maybe potentially could give us a bit of a battle. Yeah. And the rest of the time, it wasn't really worth the while. I mean, Juventus, they pulled out that one season because they said it'll cost us more to travel our players out to these different competitions.
Yeah. William, I agree with you. And the reason why I said that about Chelsea is because I get it in terms of the size of the club, but Chelsea, realistically, if you're not in the Champions League, they've won the Champions League twice, they've won the Europa a few times.
I agree with everything you said. The only thing I'll say is that Europa League brings Champions League football. So if you're in that competition, it takes maybe a tiny bit of pressure off your league. Maybe. But I hear what you're saying. Still to come, we'll be hearing from Pep Guardiola ahead of tomorrow's game at Burnley. It's live on talkSPORT. Another game live on talkSPORT. First, I better no Googling. Liam Ronaldinho has the second worst Premier League points per game record of any Chelsea manager this century. 1.42, with only Graham Potter below him. Jeez. We want to know which Chelsea manager has the best Premier League points per record this century. That's a great answer. I'll give you a clue. It's not Jose. That's unbelievable. Who's the best Chelsea manager? Who's the best Chelsea manager this century? Is what I'm asking. All right. Oh, nice. Points per game. Unbelievable question. Unbelievable. You need to hear the answer. It's coming up right after this.
If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Love was in the air in the Garden of England, Kent, at the weekend. talkSPORT's very own Jamie O'Hara tied the knot with his fiancée, and as you'd expect, his co-host Jason Cundy was in attendance, sporting his Ange Postecoglou mask, as viewers of YouTube or smart TV will be able to see right now. Jason's in the building to record another edition of Inside Chelsea. I'm pleased to say he's in the studio.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, everyone. How are we?
Morning, Chase. How long did it take you to decide you were going to wear the mask?
Oh, no time at all. That mask was always coming. The photos are great. I've just seen myself on the dance floor. They're big Ange on the dance floor.
By the way,
trying
Jace,
some shapes.
Oh, Jace, you took the words out of my mouth, mate. I'm going to tell you right now. I can't see Big Ange moving like that. I mean, I love Big Ange.
Mind you,
he ain't moving like that, mate.
Coisty, I've got to tell you, mate, on Sunday morning I paid for it. Yeah, those moves come with a price.
Yeah. So this was an early fixture. It was a 2 o'clock kickoff.
It was. I've got to say, what a brilliant day. It was so well put together. The weather was fabulous. His wife looked stunning. Jay looked fab. It was just a brilliant day. Everything went the way he wanted it to go.
Yeah.
And then they went to the reception. The reception was fab. And then, as you can see there, I was enjoying myself, throwing a few shapes. The hips were... snake hips came out, which is rare these days for me.
Brilliant.
But just a fabulous day. Really brilliant day.
So I assume you avoid watching Chelsea against Man United then,
well,
did you?
as it turned out, the day... It's amazing when you don't... Because of... Listen, I've covered every Chelsea game, and it was on my mind.
There's no room for error. Pep's told the media Arsenal and City are very aware any slip-ups from now on could cost them everything.
Both teams know we cannot lose or drop points, so now it will be difficult to recover. In our calendar is so demanding, so of course the 3 days and after, but especially when an Everton game the opponents are really, really tough.
Guardiola says it's harder for his team mentally and physically being the chasers in the title race. Does he mean it? He's also confirmed Rodri is out with a groin injury for City's trip to Burnley tomorrow. Ruben Diaz is not back for that game either. City would go top on goal difference. With a win, of course, it would also relegate Burnley. Elsewhere this afternoon, outgoing Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola says the club will be in good hands with his successor Marco Rotzer. The ex-Dortmund boss is taking over at the end of the season. Speaking of Europe, Chelsea's Champions League hopes are fading fast after 4 losses on the bounce in which they've scored 0 goals. Liam Rossini has admitted they're in a mess of their own making.
We've made it very difficult for ourselves. We have to be honest and realistic with that. But what we can't do is give up. We have to keep fighting.
Brighton could leapfrog Chelsea into 6th with a win tonight. The game is live on talkSPORT. We understand Jared Branthwaite's season is now over as he faces 2 months on the sideline with a hamstring injury which ends any hopes of a World Cup call-up. Meanwhile, as Baroness Karen Brady departs her role as vice-chair at West Ham after 16 years, how will she be remembered? Alex Crook.
Her legacy will be overseeing the controversial move from Upton Park to London Stadium. They have won a European trophy on her watch, that Conference League success a couple of years ago. But she's been a divisive character, hasn't she? Alongside David Sullivan, there have been big protests from West Ham fans.
There's more on that and everything else on talkSPORT.com.
No, you should have. I can't open it. I just said to Benny, can you open this bottle for me? It's too tight. I've tried it. I can't do it. Yeah. Why would you even question it? You just do it for a moment. Oh, there you go. You're an expert.
Honestly.
I loosened it.
I can open a bottle.
I loosened it for you. How about this for a question and an answer? Who's Chelsea's greatest manager this century? Points per game. So at the bottom is Potter, and then it's Liam Rossini. Who's at the top of that list with 2.32 points per game?
How many games did he have in charge? That would give me a...
I don't want to tell you that, because the answer's mind-blowing.
Okay, so then if...
So the question is, Chelsea's greatest manager this century is...
Well, you've said to me, because of that answer you just gave, I'm going to go for someone who was there for a short space of time. So I'm going to go for Gus Hiddink.
No. Someone's greater than Gus Hiddink.
Avram Grant.
Avram Grant. It's
Really?
Chelsea's greatest manager this century. Fact.
Who's the one who won the European Cup there? The Europa?
Rafa?
No, it weren't Rafa. He won it as well.
What are you talking about? What, Chelsea manager?
What does Sarri win? He won it as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did win that. Did he?
Yeah, he did. I remember it was his first match.
He was in charge of the League Cup, wasn't he, when Kepa was meant to be subbed off.
Every manager back then went to Chelsea, just filled the trophy cabinet with something. Even Rafa, who they despised, went there, nicked the trophy, and left.
He won the Europa League, didn't he, Rafa?
Yeah.
They despise.
Libertad went there, nicked the Champions League, off he went.
Yeah.
Thomas Tuchel nicked the Champions League, off he went.
Yeah.
Ancelotti, I'll have a double, see ya. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, these characters, insane.
Jose wins everything. Off he goes.
No, he didn't. Champions League, he didn't.
Okay, yeah, I know, but on the first league title.
Conte rocked up, league title, see ya.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maresca, he rocked up, wins 2.
Off he goes. No good.
Off, see you, mate.
And you win nothing, and you stay.
Who's that?
Current manager, Liam
Senior.
Senior. Well, I'm serious though. Second worst manager of this century, and he's staying.
Got to build, yeah. Got to build.
Oh, is he mate, is he?
No, you got to build.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I've worked out now.
Yeah.
He's your Darren Fletcher, isn't he? He's your mate. Yeah, he's your mate.
I know you're talking about Fletcher.
Oh, here we go.
Listen,
he's your
I know
mate.
you're-
Okay, no, I didn't realise Liam was your mate.
No, listen.
Oh, I get it now. All clicks. I get it.
Listen.
Oh, yeah, must have said anything negative
I
about
know
Liam
you know
Senior.
what to. Oh, Darren Fletcher.
What?
You
What?
know.
You know I defended Darren Fletcher because he's my mate, yeah.
Yeah,
well, I admitted it on air. You haven't admitted you're
No,
friends
but
with
listen,
Liam.
I know him.
Are you,
I also have mates. I know him.
Are you friends with any in the family?
I know members of the family.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Explain that. You should have said that before.
No, it's nothing.
Oh, you can't say nothing negative about Liam Senior.
I've said
oh,
it.
he's my mate.
No, Chelsea, too big for him. Said that.
Oh, right, okay. Not good enough.
No, I'm just saying Chelsea too big.
Not good enough
No.
for Chelsea. I get that. Still to come, we'll have some fun with the best of talkSPORT. But now, the Man City boss Pep Guardiola has been speaking to the media ahead of tomorrow's game against Burnley. It's live on talkSPORT, as every game is. A win, of course, would move them top of the Premier League, Darren.
Wow.
And Pep was asked how he'll get his team to go again after smashing Arsenal on Sunday.
Yeah, we talk immediately in the dressing room after the game. Don't lose the focus. The focus is Arsenal is top of the league. Right now, in that moment, we'll be champion. And of course, the recovery is much less than the last 2 weeks. It's just 2 days, so that's why you have to see how people recover, not just the demanding game that we had emotionally and physically. But at the same time, so we have 6 games left, so we know exactly what is going to happen when we get result, or just in case we don't get result.
What does the P stand for on his hoodie? What?
Peace in the city.
What?
Do you know that?
I thought it was Puma.
No, it's like peace in the city.
What does that mean?
Like obviously where their foundation or their.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was made by Puma. I thought it was Puma.
That you now made up on the spot. I thought it was Pep.
I know you did. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
But it's probably Puma, right?
I don't know. You know.
So what's peace in the city? Where'd you get that from?
It's made up on the spot.
What? It doesn't even exist.
No, probably not. No, but do you know what?
Good foundation, that is.
He always wears some good clothing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
best dress.
It was like a dress off. Him and Arteta at the weekend, man.
No, it's not.
You ever laugh?
Arteta just wears a boring black top with
Yeah, but
black
good
trousers.
chinos and
no,
good
mate,
shoes, mate.
No, good chinos.
Good chino.
That's
Hold
all
on,
left.
you love a chino, you over there.
What's wrong with that? But I'm not a football manager. He's got no style at all,
he has.
Arteta.
He has.
He hasn't.
Why are you hating?
I'm not. I'm just being honest. Why are you loving?
No, he has.
No, Pep looks good. Arteta just literally looks like he's an accountant or a geography teacher.
He looks good, Pep. Arteta.
Mate, I've never looked at Arteta and went, I like that
That's
top.
because you just don't like him.
Right, what have you looked at Arteta and gone, I like the top?
Good hair.
It's not even his, mate.
See?
Spray on.
Honestly, hey, good hair.
He hasn't got good hair.
He has. Immaculately dressed.
No, mate. Honestly, love is blind.
No, it's
You've
not.
been blinded by
His
that.
character as well.
What?
Carrick.
Oh, what, have you
Yes,
seen? Looks like the equaliser, the fella.
No,
He does.
Arteta just as well.
What are you talking about? Michael Carrick looks unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what I was
Got long coat, long trench coat, little black number underneath. Looks amazing.
Trench coat. Is that what we're going with, yeah? Is that what we're
What's it called?
What, Trench Parker?
What? Is that wrong with Trench Parker? Ask
No,
Liam.
I think he does, man. Arteta's
He wears nothing other than the same thing every
No, he looks sharp.
You go to his wardrobe, opens up, it's the same thing. I just wear that black jumper, that black t-shirt, and Farrah's. That's all he wears.
Better than that. Scotty Parker dress as well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
A lot of Tom Brown going on.
Not too much Tom Brown. Everything's got 4 stripes on it, isn't it? Everything.
But no, yeah, Pep is probably the...
Big game tomorrow.
Yes.
Any chance Burnley can do you a favour?
So, I can't see... Just because of where Man City are right now, I just can't see them doing us a favour. And it's very rare that Man City let this type of situations kind of slip. And you look at Burnley's recent form, I mean, wow. I can't make a case. I know strange things have happened, but I can't make a case for them at home because... I mean, even if you look at the table where they are, I mean, they could get relegated tomorrow. So that's one thing. And even when you start to look at the home form, like, I mean, they've got the worst home record in the Premier League. Now, what am I? Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got nothing for you. Like,
Even if Burnley go 2-0 up, I still fancy City to win.
Yeah,
and they won't.
They've got the worst home record in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I don't know what.
Not good, is it, for you?
No. But you never know. I mean, they pushed Liverpool earlier on in the season right to the brink, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of holding on to that. But
I just sort of feel that they've done all the hard work now, City, to get back. There ain't no... It don't matter who they've got tomorrow. There's no way they'll let this one slip.
Well, it depends. Maybe.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Listen, I'm looking for something, but I just can't see tomorrow. Tomorrow's one of them. I'm not even going to watch it because if I watch it,
You'll just get frustrated.
Yeah,
If Burnley have a chance in the first 5 minutes, you'll be
my head will fall off.
Yeah.
Or even if they're kind of holding Man City for the first 15, and the moment in my brain I start to go, hold on a second here.
I do that.
Do you know what I mean? You go, oh, we might have a chance here.
If we get to 20, then 24,
You go,
and all of a sudden it goes 1-0.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like I've wasted 24 minutes.
Yeah. Pep did say that Rodri's going to be out of the game tomorrow. Is that a blow or not? It's probably... I don't think it's a bad thing because that means they'll keep him for a proper game.
Yeah, as long as he's not out long term, because he all of a sudden looks back to his sharpness, where he's getting his body in, he can run all of a sudden. His passing's always been immaculate, and it's almost like the kind of freedom he gives the other midfield players, and even defensively, having him in front just makes a huge difference. I mean, the impact he's had not only on Manchester City but on Spain as well tells you how vital he is. I mean, he came off in the final, didn't he? The Euros. And I think, Zubimendi might come on for him, but even his impact in that tournament. I did Spain. I was lucky enough to do Spain quite a few times. Everything, and I mean everything. I know you mean Lamau gets all the credit, and rightly so, because of how good he is, and Nico Williams on the other side in that last Euros. But everything goes through Rodri. Everything they do going forward, and the same for Man City. You could just trust him. And what I like,
it dictates the pace, right?
And not only him in that, not only that in that position. There's no safety there. You know, you get a lot of defensive midfield players now that want to pass the ball sideways and backwards. Not him. Spraying it all over the place. He'll nick a goal as well. Top draw.
Yeah, he's a top draw. What do they do when he goes eventually? Who'd they replace him with? What players in the Premier League you like they should go for him?
I mean, it's to kind of pinpoint in the Premier League. I mean, listen, Caicedo wouldn't be a bad one, would it? If you can go and get him. But it might not be Premier League because Rodri didn't come across my radar. When Fernandinho was there, I was like, oh, what do they do now? And then he comes rolling in.
He's better than Fernandinho.
Yeah, of course he is.
What about someone like Adam Wharton?
Yeah, he'd be decent, but I think a lot will depend also on Pep, because Pep coached Rodri into that position.
Yeah, if he stays, you mean?
Once he goes, what happens then?
Do you think he'll stay? Okay, if Man City win the league, is he more likely or less likely to stay?
They could win a treble this season.
Yeah. FA.
They've already won the League Cup and the league.
Yeah, no one's talked about that.
No one's even mentioned it.
If he wins the league, that's the one he wants. If he wins the league, more or less likely to stay.
I still think he'll be here next year. I think maybe one more year and then that's him done.
Yeah, I agree. It does feel like he's building something again, doesn't it?
Yeah, but clearly whatever's going on at Man City, because he doesn't really stay at places long, he must be really encouraged with what he's seeing at Man City. There must be something about City and the way the club's run, the players that he's got, that keeps him still hungry.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because he went to Bayern, it was almost 4 years and he was out. I've had enough of this.
Yeah, didn't win the Champions League there either, did he?
No.
What will the score be tomorrow?
4-0.
Wow.
Burnley.
Yeah, you wish. Still to come on Drive. We'll find out who's been slugging Benty right off.
How good's Benty? I wouldn't say he's in my top 300.
Nikhil, I pulled him up.
Oh, no, let's hear it. Why are you talking over it?
I pulled him up on that.
How good's Benty? I wouldn't say he's in my top 300.
Hey, listen to the line after that, though. He's like, no, we've got a great...
Jack, don't play the one after.
I bet Jack's cut it out.
He cut it out. Good work. Well, here comes his review of O'Hara's wedding.
You're like a bunion next to a beautiful foot.
That's good. We'll also be asking how Leicester fans are feeling 10 years on from this.
Leicester City are the Premier League champions of 2015 and 16.
You can get your calls in now as well, 03717223334. All that and loads more coming up on Drive with me, Goldstein, him, Darren Bent, and when we come back, the best bits of talkSPORT ever in an item we've very cleverly called the best of talkSPORT.
Are you nervous as a player when you're 2-0 up against Wolves? Are you nervous in that game? Are you nervous when you're playing against Brentford and you're playing against Forest?
Perhaps
Are you nervous in those games?
Arsenal bit off more than they can chew, Simon. They were really big in 4 competitions. Is the workload played a part?
Well, they fixed that.
Maybe that game came just at the wrong time from an Arsenal.
But they fixed that, haven't they?
That game now.
Here's the fact: they've been in this situation twice before, and they've cracked, and it looks like they're cracking again. Why are they cracking again?
Let's discuss that at the end of the season.
Never mind City. Why are they cracking again?
Because, look, the squad players that come in, Arsenal played with 4 central defenders yesterday. No Calafiori to develop the play in midfield that they normally have. No Timber, that tenacity that they has to help when Haaland's doing his stuff. Yeah,
but you've got to find a way, haven't you?
Yeah, but
the squad should be strong enough.
People come in to replace.
Cope with that.
Don't they? We're on our 3rd right back yesterday.
But that's not the point, is it?
No, it is the point.
You keep ignoring the point.
It's not your point.
You can elevate your voice if you want to because you don't like the conversation. No one would look at Arsenal winning, losing away to Man City as a bad result. It's the other results.
There's always a first choice player, isn't there? So when a second choice player
when you're playing against the bottom sides in the division and you're
yes, that's a different discussion. But we're talking about yesterday.
That's why they've lost.
I'm talking about
that's a big part.
That's why they've lost their position.
Simon's point's relevant.
That's why they've lost their position.
That's why they've lost the position they were in.
Don't you think the workload though has affected the Arsenal players with the injuries and fatigue? No, talk of players.
Well, you know more. Talk of players playing with.
So Man City. Man City are in all the competitions. They're in the League Cup. They're in the FA Cup. They're in the Champions League until recently.
But they invested well and wisely in the transfer window, didn't they? Gahey and Semenyo.
talkSPORT, it's Andy Goldstein. Darren Bent is here as well. We are here thanks to our wonderful friends of Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Soon to come, we'll be asking how Leicester fans are feeling ahead of potentially being relegated to League One tonight. Nuts. Time now for this, my friends. Yeah, time for the best talkSPORT friends, my friends. We're going to run you through some of the recent moments from across talkSPORT. Let's kick things off with last night's sports bar. The boys were debriefing following O'Hara's second wedding on Saturday. Cundy was full of praise for the groom.
You're like a bunion next to a beautiful foot.
A bunion?
Well, like a bunion.
You can't call me a bunion.
Next to her, you look like a bunion.
That's bang out of order.
I don't know, mate.
I thought I looked good, mate.
No, you did for a bunion.
That's very funny. Does Cundy have a point?
Yeah, I mean, the pictures of the wedding, the video look great, didn't it? You have to say fair play.
He looked good, O'Hara.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
He looked good. What's the best and worst thing about weddings?
The best thing is the party afterwards. That's unbelievable. That, you know, when everyone's in a really good mood.
Do you have a lot of footballers at yours?
A few, not many.
Where were you at? What club were you at?
Where was I? Villa, I think.
So what players? Villa players?
Yeah, Fabian Delph was there. I can't remember who else was there. Fraser was there.
Who's your fan?
Oh, Emmanuel. Geezer called Money.
Okay.
I grew up with him.
Money?
That's what we called him, Money.
What's that?
Because when I first met him, he used to wear the biggest earrings you could have, like, weren't real.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, who's this fella like? And then we just kind of...
That's nice, isn't it? All right. What's the worst?
You know when you got to go around and talk to people like, you know, here you go again. You know that you just want to go there and have a good time, but everyone wants to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, you don't have a minute to yourself.
No,
do
you don't.
Benny, you're like, oh, just want to.
Yeah.
How attractive are your feet from 1 to 10?
No one's got nice feet.
I've got okay feet.
2.
Are yours
2.
horrible because of football?
Probably, yeah.
Are they? Your toes all mangled. You got toenails?
Yeah, all my toenails are intact.
They're all fine. Yeah. Okay. Cundy and O'Hara back tonight, 10 o'clock, following another big old night of Premier League football.
Onto the live football. Adrian and the gang were joined by talkSPORT's Alan Pardew at the London Stadium yesterday, but Pards had other places to be.
I've got to stop you because I'm not getting paid tonight. This is my guest appearance. My king prawns with chili drizzle is waiting. Right. So I'd like to shoot a bat with you, but I'm off.
Alan, great to see you.
Danny,
Thanks, Alan. Cheers.
See you.
And you got my number, so if you hear about Areola, give us a shout.
I thought you were going to say with any more prawns.
If you want to bring us some up, that'd be great.
Send us up a plug.
Good edit that.
Yeah.
Spell just stopped, didn't it?
And what's the best way to dip out of a conversation?
Well, it depends. It depends if I know someone or if I don't, right?
If you know them.
Oh, well, give me an example. Put me in a scenario.
Like someone comes up to you in the street, you don't know them. Oh,
I
Andy.
said I know them.
Okay, the first one is...
Okay, like the one on the train I told you about.
Yeah.
So I got onto an empty train at lunchtime today. Empty. Big train as well. Lots of room, lots of empty seats. And the guy come on, who's probably listening to this now because he's found the show. And I was like, oh, Andy. I was like, how you doing? And I didn't know him. And he went, you remember me? And I went, no. And he goes, I met you about 3 or 4 years ago. And I went, oh, right, okay. And then we stopped talking. And he looked to where I was going to sit. And I just thought, we can't sit together for a train journey. That's nuts.
Yeah.
So I went, all right, well, I'm going to sit over there, have a nice seeing you, have a good day. And he went, oh, right, okay. And I thought, well, it's just weird if I had work to do on my phone. Weird, right?
Right, yeah.
So I'll just tell the truth. I'm sort of in the Larry David mode. I'm old enough to say, I'm done. Let's move on.
All right. What's the greatest starter food of all time?
Well, you said prawn cocktail the other day.
Yeah, that's not the greatest. That was just...
It's very... I do like a bit of tomato and... What's the round thing you have with tomato and the cheese?
Mozzarella.
I do like a bit of that. I really do like that.
I know it's an appetizer and starter, but is this a starter? Peking duck.
Yeah, it is.
That's up there, that.
Yeah, like in a roll.
No, you have the wrap.
Yeah. You have like quarter duck or half duck.
Yeah.
That's what you... Yeah.
That's up there.
That's a great answer. That's unbelievable answer.
Would you watch a match...
Onion Bargy I'd stick in that scenario.
Okay.
Love an onion Bargy.
Would you watch a match at Old Trafford if it meant interacting with the general public? No corporate or hospitality?
Well, the game's on. Why am I talking to people?
Oh, so you sit with the common people?
I've done it before. I took my missus and kids up there and sat with normal people.
Okay, nice. I like that.
I sat in the middle. I put the kids on.
Yeah. You can catch Parge every Sunday. It's from 6:30 on The Final Word. Meanwhile, we'll bring you a choice of live football tonight. Brighton versus Chelsea on talkSPORT, whilst Leicester Hull is on talkSPORT 2.
Let's finish with H&J. Hawksby and Jacobs, they asked Team GB paddle player...
Yeah, Nikhil.
What's his name? Nikhil. How do you pronounce his surname? I don't want to do it disservice. Mahindra. Nikhil Mahindra. All the important questions.
How good's Benty? He's up next, of course, with Andy Goldstein. How good is Darren Bent?
It's tough to say. I wouldn't say he's in my top 300.
That's not going to go down.
Only because we have a big grudge match. Just myself and Dwight Gale versus him and another one of my friends, Sam.
Right.
It's a big match we're playing next week.
That's why it's this me, because of that reason.
I know Nikhil. I played him.
Yeah, because he messaged me straight afterwards and goes, this is the full version. Yeah.
His level is different class. He's like world class level, right?
Unbelievable. But the grudge match he's talking about is him and Dwight versus me and Sam.
Is that next Friday?
I don't know if it's next Friday. No, it's like we're going to arrange it. But Sam Jones, who I'm playing with, was number 1.
Oh, okay, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Compare your paddle style to any wild animal.
I'm aggressive.
Cheetah?
No, aggressive.
So, yeah, well, what animal would that be?
What's an aggressive... Okay, a tiger or a lion that ain't ate for a week.
All right, okay.
Oh, do you know what? I ain't going to repeat that.
Jack.
Do you know what? Do you know what, right? Yeah. I should repeat it so he gets fired for that.
Yeah. Honestly.
Do you know what I mean?
Know your audience, Jack.
That is... Part of me wants to air that, you know? Do you know what's quite funny? Even you realise there, I like that from you.
Oh, dear. What would happen first?
That is...
Me beating you at paddle?
I'll beat you at golf.
Or you beat me at golf? You'll never beat me at golf.
Well, you'll never beat me at paddle.
Okay, well, neither.
I'm saying golf.
You ain't out driving me at golf.
We
need to do that. We'll do that at Madison's Golf Day.
Honestly,
there's a job going in, by the way. Jack's just about to get fired. For the best bits of talk, we'll check out the 80 Day Daily. Or you can download 21 minutes ago. It's me and Cundy. A new one drops every Thursday and Monday, so you've got 2 days to wait. Of course, you can find all of our shows on the talkSPORT app, where you can swipe between talkSPORT, talkSPORT 2, and all of our other sister stations. And when we come out, I'll be here, Bent will be here, Juicy Joe will be here,
Billy will be here,
but Jack will be on the dole queue. Make sure you join the four of us live and jump.
Bill, can you press buttons?
You found the mask?
Yeah, I found the mask.
It's just who we are, mate. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I hope you lost it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Mate, do you know, it's half hot in here. And I can't... So you don't realise what it's like. I've had a Arteta on. I'm going to have to take this off, mate. Well, I can't.
No? You what?
Wow, it's hot. I've got to take my top off, mate. I can't keep doing this, mate. I can't keep doing this.
What is going on?
What do you mean?
What is this?
What's what?
Is this talkSPORT merch?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh my God, he's got a shirt. You've now got a shirt on. You're kidding me. What is this shirt? What is this?
I don't know what you're on about, mate. I just knocked this whole thing up.
So for people who are not watching on YouTube right now, Cundy has got a T-shirt with the Ange mask. I've seen signs encouraging signs. Is this talkSPORT merch? Where are you getting this stuff from? Who is making this stuff for you? It's bang out of order. I'm going to HR. This is not on. Honestly, they're gonna go off the shelves. Then, by the way,
and Spurs.
They are going to go off the shelves. Who made that?
I did.
You're out of order.
Well, I had 10 minutes spare. I thought, what can I do? No, I think. What do you think of the fit?
It's all right. It's muscle fit.
Over the years, we've been treated to some amazing exhibition events in sports. Some become iconic, but many fail to live up to the hype. So what are some of the most anticlimactic exhibitions? Technically, it wasn't an exhibition because it ended up being sanctioned as a pro fight, but it basically was. 2024 saw Mike Tyson return to the ring to fight YouTuber Jake Paul. The event, which Paul won, was streamed by 65 million people on Netflix, making it the most streamed sporting event ever at the time. But many complained of buffering and freezing. And as for the fight itself, well, it was considered an entertaining disaster. I mean, it wasn't prime Tyson. He was 58. And after the fight, Paul, who was 27 at the time, said he'd actually gone easy on Tyson towards the end. Now, Mayweather-McGregor in 2017 was a better watch, despite Mayweather going rope-a-dope early on, but it was way too expensive. Pay-per-view was 75 quid, and in the stadium, the cheapest ticket was over 370. Now, this next one you could have watched for free, only because the pay-per-view had streaming issues, so they had to open it out. I'm talking about Tiger versus Phil in 2018, which was nicknamed The Match. Massive names and massive rivals going head-to-head. On paper, it worked. In reality, it didn't. The two players were mic'd up, so we all thought we'll get fascinating insight. We'll be able to hear them insult each other for 18 holes. But what we actually got was more heavy breathing and sniffles. And for two GOATs, the golf itself was bang average. And speaking of GOATs, let's end with Messi and Ronaldo. In 2023, an exhibition between PSG and the Riyadh All-Star 11 saw them share a pitch for possibly the final time. To be fair, it was a goal fest, which PSG won 5-4, and Messi and Ronaldo both scored. But it was obvious they were past their prime. El Clasico, this was not. And with it being in Saudi, there were more sports washing claims. So there you have it, exhibitions that have let us down. And I didn't even have time to mention the Community Shield.
Well, Matt, to the last hour of the show. My goodness, it flies, doesn't it? Flies. I'm here. Darren Bent's here. Jack, you're not even pressing the button there.
Jack, I'm a fan.
No.
That's what Jack. That's what you come with.
Jack. Honestly, disgusting scenes. Still to come. Oh, yeah, bring you this week's edition of Clutching at Scores. Fancy that?
Well, I think I'm being quite comfortably now.
Oh, comfortable, is it? Okay, well, we'll find out. Is it comfortable, Joe? Is it comfortable? It is.
You don't want to do it now?
Lie to me. Maybe we won't have time for that. But now, how are Leicester fans feeling ahead of potentially dropping into League One tonight? Oh my goodness.
The most implausible, the most improbable, the most surprising title winners in Premier League history. The most remarkable domestic achievement in English club football. Leicester City are the Premier League champions of 2015 and 16.
Nearly done, come on. Fantastic, terrific.
Leicester City relegated for the second time in 3 seasons. Ruud van Nistelrooy unable to save them from the inevitable.
We get back up into the Premier League. Like we make sure we take this championship by storm. I look at this group and I don't see that.
Post is a good delivery and it's been smuggled into the far post. And Portsmouth have taken the lead.
Leicester City relegation to the 3rd tier 10 years after they won the Premier League title is a stark reality now.
Yeah, live on talkSPORT 2 tonight. You can hear live commentary of Leicester against Hull in the Championship. Leicester 8 points from safety. Need to win all 3 of their remaining games to even stand a chance of staying up. Anything but a win against Hull will see them relegated to League One. 10 years on from winning the Premier League. Crazy. Incredible fall from grace. Their boss, Gary Rowett, has been speaking to the media ahead of this game. He was asked how they can possibly stay up.
It's difficult to feel too optimistic about what the last 3 games hold for us, but we certainly have to find a different part of our game in some of those moments than probably we found all season, really. So that's a big thing.
It's sad times for Leicester fans, right? They were deducted 6 points this season, but even without that, they'd still be in a relegation zone, right? I mean, league tables don't lie.
No.
So, it's horrible. They obviously deserve to go down. They're not playing the right. They're not winning the right amount of games. There are teams better than them in the league. They're going to be playing their football in League One next season. It seems nuts that after 10 years since winning the Prem, they find themselves in the third tier of English football. It's insane,
It's
isn't
crazy. I mean, the only thing you'd say is they're playing Hull City tonight. Hull haven't won a game in the last 4, but Hull are desperately trying to hang on to that 6th spot in the playoff. So you're almost going against a team that they're desperate for points as well. You're desperate for points. And I mean, Hull, they put themselves in a position where they were comfortably in the top 6, and all of a sudden their form just completely deserted them. I think, 2 wins in their last 10 games or so. So, but for Leicester City, as you said there, the fact that they are now in the position that they are, I mean, it almost felt like at one point they were everyone's second team after winning the league, then winning the FA Cup, playing in the Champions League. It was just, they did all right in the Champions League. Did they get to the quarterfinals or something?
Yeah.
And I remember when they were in that competition, people were going, hold on, it ain't going to happen again, is it? Like, it happened the first time. And there was such a feel-good factor around the club. Now, I know, obviously, tragic circumstances. They lost their owner, who they absolutely all loved. But to still say that they're going to be in the third tier of English football now, and again, points deduction, it's harsh, but unfortunately, you break the rules, then these are the things that happen. Now, I know certain Leicester fans will come in here and go, why is it we get punished straight away and there are other clubs that are still waiting for their charges to kind of come to the forefront? But for Leicester, all you can keep doing is, if you win, I know it might not be enough, but at least give yourself an opportunity by winning your games. You do that, then let the rest take care of itself.
Where do they go from here? What needs to happen in the summer?
Okay, recruitment, get rid of some of the deadwood they've got there. But you look at some of their squad, right? And some of their squads are they're better than the players. Like, they've got Patson Daka, who, okay, maybe he's never going to be prolific, and he was never going to be the answer after Vardy left, right? But Fatawu, Decordova-Reid, Mavididi, Harry Winks, Hans Chowdhury, they've got experience there. Do you
More
know,
than enough.
Vestergaard and Lascelles. Lascelles was Newcastle captain. So they've got more than enough there, but Begovic in goal. Asma Begovic, do you know what I mean? A proven Premier League goalkeeper. Their form this season just hasn't been.
Why? I mean, you're mentioning players that should be pushing for promotion.
Exactly. It just
what's gone wrong, D?
Just hasn't worked for them properly. I think management has been an issue as well.
Where do you think it all began? There's a question I asked Leicester fans. On the pitch or even management, where was the first crack? What went wrong for you to go, oh, this is not good?
I mean, it's a difficult one, but...
Because I don't remember them financially going crazy. I don't remember them...
Well, I remember COVID times. If I could, and one of my mates is a season ticket holder at Leicester. He said to me that in COVID time, they got hit hard because they're duty-free, aren't they?
They did, that's right. So no one was travelling on planes and no duty-free.
So really caused them a problem.
Yeah.
But I guess you go down to recruitment, I'd imagine. You lose...
But you say that, but the players they've got are good enough to get out of the Championship or
stay,
not go down.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't think it's just recruitment.
But I think sometimes you just get to a situation where it's almost like a spiral effect for Leicester. You start the season with all this optimism, and when you just can't win a game, and it seeps into you. And then because you're a big club as well in that division, I won't say everyone's cup final, but people almost raise their games, raise their game, because when you go to Leicester Stadium, and rightly so, outside the stadium is big old trophies, FA Cup bang, Premier League bang. Like, so it's a real good factor around there. But I think management, I think recruitment, they actually started off the season relatively okay, but they just went for a real barren spell where they just couldn't win it by a win. I think they beat Swansea, and then after that it was like 5-6 games without a win. It just kept going and going and going, and before you know it, in the Championship, it's relentless, man. Like if you get into a spiral where you're winning games can't come quick enough. Tuesday, Saturday, we keep going, but when you're winning, and then when you're fighting relegation and you're not even in the drop zone, so you're thinking you're getting away with it, and then someone hits you with a bang. 6
but
points.
they'd still be there without those 6 points.
They would, but at that time they got hit with it. They were out of the relegation zone.
Do you think some Leicester fans will look back at Brendan Rodgers' time involved?
We won the FA Cup.
I know he did, but their league form suffered, right?
I mean, I guess I don't think.
Where do you think Leicester
well, that's
fans?
the thing. It's tough for me because I don't watch Leicester week in, week out.
Okay.
But I'd love to. I don't think you'd find. Surely you won't find a Leicester fan out there that would swap the last 10 years if it meant that they were going to be in this position going into League One.
Oh, I think they would.
You think?
Well, you'd be happy with it.
I think most Leicester. If you said, "Look, I'm going to offer you stay in the League One, you stay in
Premier League,
stay in the Premier League,
you don't win it.
You don't win it. You don't win the FA Cup, but you stay in the division."
No, I don't think anyone would take that.
Of course they wouldn't. Never.
Okay, right. Yeah, we agree.
Yeah,
right.
never.
Yeah, you take that moment of the greatest moment ever in Premier League history.
Two greatest moments with FA Cup and the
I don't think
League.
the FA Cup was as great.
I mean,
no, hold on. Let me refer. What I mean is winning the Premier League was underdog story of the century. Now, but when Leicester won the FA Cup, it didn't make me go. I didn't react in the same way that I did when they won the league. It was
no, of course not.
It was not a great achievement. They shouldn't have won the FA Cup. Little old Leicester, I get that, but still, it was like, well, they've got a good team.
And not only that as well, you do go when they won the league. So
yeah, that's right.
So they can win the FA Cup, but
a lot of players had left. But yeah,
it's just one of those where Tillerman's goal in that final was a joke, wasn't it? Was it Chelsea they beat? They beat Chelsea in the FA Cup final, I believe.
Did they?
And I think they beat City in the. Was it City in the?
Semis.
No, who did they beat in the Community Shield? Because they won that too.
Oh yeah, they beat City in the Community Shield.
And Chelsea in the final.
Is it definitely Chelsea in the final?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But no, but the position they find themselves in, it's bizarre to me. But this could happen.
Well, you say a team winning the Premier League
10 years ago,
and then dropping into League One. I don't think that can happen. It's not happened before.
Okay, but we've seen other teams win.
But even at Leeds, when they were knocking on the door, I think they got to the semi-final of Champions League. They were knocking on the door of winning the Premier League.
They went down.
I know, but they didn't go down twice. That's what I'm saying. Even Leeds.
Yeah, but okay, they went down but never came back for like 20 years.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So for a long time, I remember Wolves going down, and didn't they go back-to-back relegations? Bang, bang. Championship and then down to League One.
So this is the only time ever that a team has won the Prem and dropped 2 divisions, right?
I think so. Well, yeah, obviously, because no one has won the Prem other than them. Blackburn didn't drop.
No, Blackburn didn't, did they?
No.
They just stayed in the Championship.
So, but listen, Arsenal won the Prem. But Wigan, they dropped, but they won the FA Cup. That wasn't the league title.
Yeah. Okay. Leicester fans, we'll take your calls. How are you feeling about us? Just potentially going down. They're down. Yeah. But they need 3 wins out of 3, and they need other big results to go their way. They're down. Leicester are down. Yeah. But it just might happen tonight. Leicester fans,
you need to know when it went wrong.
When did the first cracks appear? Yeah, I think that's the question. 03717 223344. Leicester fans, we feel for you. We really do. Come on National Radio and tell it like it is. 03717 223344. When did those first cracks appear?
Vincent Kompany's side, who won their 35th Bundesliga title at the weekend, have made adding another winger this summer a top priority. Gordon's thought to be open to a move to the Bundesliga, even though a starting spot, the Allianz, is not guaranteed. Sources reveal the England international has already spoken to Harry Kane about life in Munich. Newcastle United reported to be willing to sell, providing their valuation of at least £75 million is met. Do you think that there's a possibility that Bayern might balk that valuation, Coisty? 75 million? It's a lot of money. I mean, he's a,
good player.
Fully fledged England international.
Oh, 100%, mate. 75 million. Far too much. Good player. I like him. Hasn't shown any level of consistency in the league. I would say best form's been in the Champions League or certainly Europe. Would he be interested in going? You better believe he would. I mean, if you're Anthony Gordon, crikey, a move to Bayern Munich, why would you not?
But because you might not play every
week. I know, I get that, and I was just about to say, you look at it. I've got Musiala, Diaz, Guerrero. I mean, Elise, Harry Kane. Gnabry. He won't start. I mean, if Bayern Munich were playing PSG today and he was in that squad, he wouldn't start, right? He would not start. He would not start a must-win game for Bayern Munich.
John will talk sport. Me, Andy Goldstein. Bent is here in partnership with Giacomo, Styler Brands for every man. Have you looked on their website yet for anything?
I have a little look. Yeah, it's going to take me a little bit of time to kind of get through because I'm a specific style.
I might have a look later.
You will.
Still to come, we'll have team news ahead of a busy night in the Champions and Premier League. Championship, sorry. Just quickly, Karen Brady has stepped down as vice chair of West Ham after 16 years. Bayern Munich will have to pay Newcastle £75 million if they want Anthony Gordon. Too much?
I'm trying to figure out where he's going to play in that team.
Well, I'm guessing he's going to be back up. You wouldn't put him on either wing, would you?
They've got Diaz, Elise, and Kane down the middle. Gnabry there.
Yeah. Time now for this.
Couldn't believe you got a yellow card for that. The game's gone.
Honestly, I've seen my Sunday League team defend better than our back line. Welcome to Mooney fans on talkSPORT with Paddy Power.
Yes, time now to hear from Dylan Orr. Oh, you haven't given me... Oh, Dylan Orr, my mistake. From our friends at Paddy Power, who's got something he wants to get off his chest in this week's Mooney fans feature. Dylan's reputation being a bit of a moaner, well established. Let's find out what he's moaning about. No, that's the wrong button, Jack.
Hey, you know what?
Tight.
Afternoon, lads. My moan this week, very topical, VAR. We seem to be moaning about it every week, but how they cannot pause the game and go back and give Gabriel a red card is beyond me. VAR has to step in there, stop the game, go back, recommend a red card on field, review if needs be, and dish out the red card. It's absolutely scandalous, and it could be the difference in the league title going to Manchester or to London.
Shut up, Dylan.
Got the button in the end, yeah, Jack? Well done. Benny and I are going to see if we can outmoan the mono. We've got our own complaints this week. We've got 30 seconds to vent. Producer Joe will decide whether or not we should sack Jack. You got 30 seconds. You want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay, you ready? You got the right button? You don't play Dylan Orr again. Your 30 seconds begins now.
I'm moaning about Dylan Orr talking about retrospective action because that is rubbish. At the same time, VAR did intervene and say they looked at the incident, they've got all the cameras, I spoke about it, they can slow it down, they can look at different camera angles, and they came to the conclusion that a yellow was sufficient punishment. Now, listen, I think it was a red. Once you do that, you run that risk, but VAR didn't. So after the fact now, they've both come together, the referee and the VAR, to that decision. You can't then go back and stop the game before and go, you know what, let's look at it again. No, you've looked at it once or twice or 10 times in the VAR room. A decision to decision. You have to live with it.
Well done. It's good.
It's good that, Joe, isn't
it? Can I just concede? So, Benny, I don't have to do it. Can Benny? No, I've got to do it. My 30 seconds begins now. Right, D, how you doing? You all right? I'm going to moan about Saturday night 8 p.m. kickoffs. Because Man United Chelsea the other night, there's a part of me, I just watched Spurs against, who'd they lose
Brighton.
to? Brighton. And I thought, okay, Saturday night, I've got to make dinner for the kids. If I was 25, I'd be going. No, it was. I made a lovely roast. If I was 25, oh no, Sunday I made the roast. We've got a takeaway.
Joe, what is this?
We've got a takeaway. We've got Chinese. And I had quarter duck. It was lovely. I'll tell you what my kids.
That's rubbish. That wrong days, wrong meal. I was like, he made a roast on a Saturday night. What?
Sunday night. Made it on Sunday night.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Benny wins that, I made a good roast, by the way, man. It was good.
Mrs.
G was away for
it
the
wasn't
weekend.
good.
It was good.
No gravy. Chicken with mint sauce. It's all over the gaff.
Let's not go down that road.
It was just a quick one, though. What were the side dishes on the potato as well?
You know, I've got a bad memory. Side dishes were sweet corn, broccoli. I like the old big portobello, whatever they're called, mushrooms.
Yeah.
I did some, what's the cheese? With cauliflower cheese. I did the Aunt Bessie's, what are they called?
Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah, I did them.
Potatoes?
Oh, yeah, of course, did potatoes. It goes without saying.
And then the chicken.
And chicken, yeah.
With mint sauce.
Yeah,
no gravy.
No, don't know.
That is honestly appalling.
Love mint sauce, mate. Love mint sauce.
Oh.
Do love mint sauce. I'm amazed a mint sauce brand hasn't chosen me as a brand ambassador.
No, because they're saying you're putting it on chicken.
I'll put it on anything.
No.
I could have a mint sauce sandwich.
No, you couldn't.
I swear to you, I could.
I'll bring you one in tomorrow. You've got to eat it live on air. Mint sauce sandwich.
Absolutely fine. I'll make it and I'll show you making it.
I'll make it.
No, we'll make it live so people can see it.
What, you don't trust me?
No, I don't.
Why?
Well, we'll just make it live so people see it.
You're in the same camp as Jack.
No, no, we'll make it live. You bring 2 nice bits of bread in, and some. We'll go down to Mark's and get some. Right?
Oh,
and I'd effortlessly eat that. It'd be amazing.
Sauce sandwich.
Yeah, I could do that.
Disgusting.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Oh, in fact, I might have that for dinner. Where are we at? Oh yeah, there you go. Betty's one. Well done to you. That's Paddy Power's Mooney Fans feature for today. 18+ gamblerware.org.
Mooney Fans on talkSPORT with Paddy Power.
Should we go to the phone lines? Should we do that?
Yeah.
03717223324. Oh, Leicester fans. John, how you feeling, John? John?
Hello, is that me?
Are you John?
I am John.
That's you, John. How are you?
Oh, Andy, how you doing, mate? How you doing, Darren?
Good, mate.
We're okay. We feel for you, man. We feel for you.
Oh, mate, bloody hell. It's not good times. But before we get started, lads, I've been listening since the top of the show. Big breakfast. You're dead right. It was Chris Evans and Gabby Roslin.
Yeah.
What was the other two? Johnny Vaughan and Denise Bernal.
Yeah.
But just to make you feel a little bit better, Andy, not many people remember this, but Peter Kay actually slotted in there for a couple of shows and he failed. So don't feel too bad about Soccer AM, mate.
Jesus. Peter Kay did what shows? Big Breakfast?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Good YouTuber. Yeah, he was.
That's great knowledge that from
He
John.
might, yeah, but he might have been like a celebrity, like Chris Evans might have been off for a week and he stood in.
No. He got thrown in there as a regular and it didn't work for him. But look where he is now.
Wow.
Where is he?
Oh, well, bloody hell. He's one of the. I don't know. Leave that for people to decide.
Okay. All right. Well, you made me feel better. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I thought you were brilliant on Soccer AM.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, I didn't, but it's very kind of you.
Thank you.
What would you like to say, my friend?
As far as Leicester goes, where do we start? I think the players have got a lot to sort of answer to on this season. Not even this season before. Where have we, I mean, it might have been a bit of a freak show with winning the league back then and all the rest of it, and everybody seems to think so, but I don't know where to start with it, if I'm honest with you.
Where was the first crack? Where did it all start to go wrong?
After, this sounds really sad, but after Vichai died, in my opinion, I think it was like, I don't mean to make this sound like comical or anything, but since Top and the crew took over, it's like, do you know Austin Powers when Scottish takes over? It's like that's how it feels.
That's what you're comparing it to? Austin Powers?
A little bit.
Go-to reference point, Austin Powers.
It's a bit of a harsh one, I know.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Actually, I don't understand what you're saying. But let's quickly go to Raf, who's a Leicester fan. Hi, Raf.
Hi. You all right?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm just not really looking forward for tonight's game, really.
No. I mean, it doesn't really matter what happens tonight. You're not staying up, are you?
Yeah, I'm done and dusted. Well, listen, guys, you're asking where the first crack comes. So I've got a simple answer here.
Okay.
The team has been, following the appointment of Brendan Rodgers, the team was heavily invested. And if you remember the season 2019-2020, the Leicester was the most, the stays in the top of the Premier League most of the days during that season. And then we only lost the Champions League spot in the last game when we, on the 86th minute, we were 2-1 up with the Tottenham, but we lost in the that was probably the last minute of additional time, 3-2. And then on that game, we lost the Premier Champions League spot. Following season, obviously, with the time when we won the FA Cup with the Chelsea, following game was really the game that we should win with the Chelsea and then be promoted to the Champions League from the fourth spot. That was the crack when we did not secure additional funding from the Premier League. And overall, Brendan Rodgers requested extra players, but he's been told you need to sell first before you buy. So that was the point where the Leicester cracked, you know. And then obviously we did not qualify. There was no extra funding, and I do believe the sacking of Brendan Rodgers was a really good decision. We did not play well. However, with him, I believe we would stay in the Premier League and maintain the status.
Yeah.
But overall, listen, the leadership it is unbelievable. Today, Leicester City released. They tried to sell the tickets for the 10 years anniversary of the Premier League Championship and FA Cup 5 years. How you can do that to the fans who are demoted and looking for the relegation today? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
timing is wrong.
I agree. But that's
timing is wrong.
Yeah,
And
Raf, listen, we're losing you. It's not the best line. I totally agree with you. But that's because football clubs are so out of touch with.
Yeah, but I thought that's the way football's going now because in a money situation, the gap between the fan and the club is as far as it's ever been.
I got mates that got season tickets to Spurs. He's told me they're getting calls from Spurs, almost not threatening them, but saying like, if you don't renew your season ticket now, you'll lose it. And they're like, well, I'm going to wait to find out if we're playing
Premier League football. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Still to come, we'll have team news ahead of a busy night in the Championship and Premier League. First, though, it's the last no Googling of the day. We want to know who are the only team Leicester failed to pick up a single point against in their Premier League title-winning season. So they didn't beat them, they didn't draw. They lost both games. Who's that? What team? Benty's got it. Do you know it?
I remember one of them. Welbeck!
Wait.
He was at United, wasn't he? For a bit. You never know.
Yeah.
Was it Sunderland for a bit?
Brighton. Okay, it was none of those teams. The answer to that and more coming up in the last 30 minutes. Team news, as I mentioned, team news ahead of a busy night of football after this. What about Forest? Last four of a European competition, and they moved 5 points clear of the drop zone with that come-from-behind win against Burnley. But, of course, all the headlines are Morgan Gibbs-White. Now, look, he wasn't included in the 35-man squad for the last two England internationals. There's been a bit of a clamour for him to be given a chance. Is it too late for him?
No, not at all. And a number of reasons. If he keeps continuing that form, but I mean, his hat-trick was excellent, particularly goals 2 and 3. I thought the header was superb. I thought the finish for number 2, the volley at the back post, was excellent as well, and a good finish for the first one. So it's a brilliant hat-trick. How many times have we said it, Jeff? Those two games, that 35-man squad ended up a good squad to miss, right?
Yeah.
It really did, because the games, and there was nothing in any of the games where you'd think, oh, he's done himself a lot of good. He's done himself, you know what I mean? Because in terms of the final squad for the Americas, I looked at it, I think there's 3 or 4 players actually in the squad have done themselves more damage than good. So, in answer to your question, Gibbs-White, no, I genuinely don't think it is too late. And I understand the clamour, not just from some of the Forest fans, for him to be in that squad.
Do you think he will be?
If I was going to be brutally honest, I don't think he will be, Jeff. No, I don't. But I can understand the case for him to be in it. And the only thing he can do is what he's doing right now. Scoring goals, play well and keep Forest in the top flight. And then you give Thomas Tuchel a real... That's all you can do, a real dilemma, or pose him a problem, or ask him a question.
There's no room for error. Pep's told the media Arsenal and City are very aware any slip-ups from now on could cost them everything.
Both teams know we cannot lose or drop points. So now it will be difficult to recover. In our calendar is so demanding. So of course the 3 days and after, but especially when in Everton game the opponents are really, really tough.
Guardiola says it's harder for his team mentally and physically being the chasers in the title race. Does he mean it? He's also confirmed Rodri is out with a groin injury for City's trip to Burnley tomorrow. Ruben Diaz is not back for that game either. City would go top on goal difference. With a win, of course, it would also relegate Burnley. Elsewhere this afternoon, outgoing Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola says the club will be in good hands with his successor Marco Rotzer. The ex-Dortmund boss is taking over at the end of the season. Speaking of Europe, Chelsea's Champions League hopes are fading fast after 4 losses on the bounce in which they've scored 0 goals. Liam Rossini has admitted they're in a mess of their own making.
We've made it very difficult for ourselves. We have to be honest and realistic with that, but what we can't do is give up. We have to keep fighting.
Brighton could leapfrog Chelsea into 6th with a win tonight. The game is live on talkSPORT. We understand Jared Branthwaite's season is now over as he faces 2 months on the sideline with a hamstring injury which ends any hopes of a World Cup call-up. Meanwhile, as Baroness Karen Brady departs her role as vice-chair at West Ham after 16 years, how will she be remembered? Alex Crook.
Her legacy will be overseeing the controversial move from Upton Park to London Stadium. They have won a European trophy on her watch, that Conference League success a couple of years ago. But she's been a divisive character, hasn't she? Alongside David Sullivan, there have been big protests from West Ham fans.
There's more on that and everything else on talkSPORT.com.
Before the break, asked the question when Leicester won the Premier League that season, they failed to pick up a single point, meaning they lost both games home and away against which team?
Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah.
I remember the Welbeck header. That's when I thought, we're in here.
Live on talkSPORT 2 tonight, you can hear live commentary of Leicester against Hull in the Championship. That one kicks off at 7:45, just over an hour's time. Team news for that is in. Ian Danter has all the details. Dan, good evening to you.
Evening to you, boys. I'm just drinking in that fantastic news that VAR's not coming into the Championship. What a great start to my evening. 2 changes for Hull, but 3 changes for Leicester City, desperate to stay up. They've got to win all of their last 3 games, realistically to stand a chance. And Jordan James, who's not long back from injury, Oliver Skipp and Divan Mukasa are brought in. Mavididi Winks, who had that altercation with a Leicester fan whilst getting onto the coach after the Portsmouth game, and Chowdhury are all benched. So Begovic in goal, Ricardo, Lascelles, Vestergaard and Thomas, James and Skipp holding in midfield, then Fatawu, Mukasa and Decordova-Reid behind Daka in attack. For Hull, who are clinging on to 6th place, remember, with both Wrexham and Derby trying to gun for them within 3 points of Hull, both of those sides. They make 2 changes. Giles back in at left back for McNair and Lundstrom in for Hatzimetovic in midfield. So Pandur is the Hull keeper. Coyle, Ajayi, Egan and Giles in the back 4. Lundstrom and Crooks holding, and then Bellumi, Gelhardt and Miller behind McBurney in attack. Adrian Clark will be with me live from 7:30 on talkSPORT 2. It's Leicester City against Hull City.
Perfection as always. Thanks, Dan. It's right. Follow us at 7. Adrian Durham hosts live coverage of Brighton against Chelsea. Would you, Adam and Eve? Aid joins us now to look ahead to that game. Aid, good evening to you.
All right, how you doing both all right?
We are good. How are you today? You all right? Is the sun shining?
The sun is shining, but it's absolutely freezing. I mean, it's just one of those deceitful days where it looks really warm, but it absolutely isn't, I can assure you.
Oh, well, I hope you're wrapped up. You got your thermals on?
Yeah.
You got your electric pants on?
Always.
Irrelevant of the weather, right? Right, let's talk about what we know. No wins, no goals in 4 league games for Chelsea. That has to change tonight, surely.
Yeah, but it isn't going to, because Brighton, they've hit a bit of form, Brighton, actually. They're doing all right. Win and they go 6. They go above Chelsea, won 5 of their last 7. So I can't, with any kind of conviction or confidence, say Chelsea are going to win this tonight. Has it got to change? Can it change with this particular manager in charge? Of the players lost faith in him? There's all sorts of questions you're asking. I was listening to Andy Jacobs on talkSPORT earlier, obviously a lifelong Chelsea fan, saying that they might as well get rid of Ronaldinho now, because he won't be able to attract players in the summer if he stays. The results are going wrong. The players are saying they want to leave. It's a shambles really at Chelsea, so something big has to change. But in terms of tonight's game, live on talkSPORT, I can only see a Brighton win.
Hey, it's going to be huge for Brighton. Obviously, they're on the cusp of Europe as well, and in really good form. Do you think they've got the squad to compete again? I think we saw it a couple of years ago when they were in Europe, and their league form maybe suffered a little bit. Do you think they would have learnt from that campaign?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that was when De Zerbi, when they lost 4-0, I think, away to Roma, and De Zerbi went a bit crazy because he felt he hadn't been backed, and then there was a parting of the ways. So it'd be interesting to see if they do get into Europe, what Hurtzler demands, if he demands anything, if he says we need to do this, this and this, and then we'll see what the club do. But I'm looking at the players they've got, and I think he's overachieving, to be honest with you. To get 13 goals, all competitions, out of Danny Welbeck, who, I don't think he's going to play tonight, because can he play 2 games in a week? Can he start 2 games in a week? Probably not. And Rutter came in and scored that late equaliser against Spurs. Only his 3rd goal of the season, and he cost £40 million. So, you could say that they backed him with a player like that who cost that much money, but he hasn't really delivered in front of goal. So it's a funny one. Brighton, I think, this run has given them a great chance of getting into Europe. They've been top 10 in 4 of the last 5 seasons. They could well be in Europe next season, because they're hitting form at the right time.
Just going back to Chelsea, we were talking on yesterday's show about where the blame lies. If you had to split it up into 3, the owners, the manager and the players, percentage terms, what would you go with?
Well, great question. I think I'd have to lay most of the blame at Liam Rosenior's door, and I think the reason is he's been given a fantastic opportunity. He's a young coach, he's had a couple of jobs already, and suddenly Chelsea come calling. You're going to back yourself for that. So don't do anything stupid. Crack on with the job. Do it to the best of your ability. And he's come up with some crazy notions since he's taken the job. I mean, banning his own World Cup winning midfielder for 2 games, I thought was bizarre. He's publicly got an apology from Wesley Fofana, who didn't want to be subbed off at the weekend. If I was a player, I wouldn't want to be subbed off. I think it's a good thing if you don't want to be subbed off. So, why make him apologise? All that stuff is just so peripheral to what really is important for Chelsea Football Club. This is a club that dominated domestically and in Europe, and they're miles off that now. Miles off it. Might not even qualify for Europe, never mind the Champions League. And I think he's blown what could well turn out to be the biggest chance of his career.
Okay. Aid, what will the score be tonight, live on talkSPORT?
Brighton have in 3, Chelsea 0.
Okay, beautifully done. Took me back to being a kid.
Thank you very much.
Hey, go and warm yourself up. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean.
I've got me electric pants.
I know you have.
No,
I know you have. Put them on.
Yeah, you know them. You've seen them. Yeah,
I've worn them.
Absolutely, we've worn them together.
We have. Yeah. Do you want to carry on that, or just stop now?
No, we'll leave it there because it's getting a bit eggy.
Okay. Exactly what I said when I put them on. Thanks, Aid. See you soon.
Be lucky.
Time now for this.
Clutching at scores on Drive.
What are you laughing at, D? Our feature, Clutching at Scores, where every week on Drive, Bent and I have been picking 3 games from that week's fixtures to predict the score of. If we correctly predict the result of the game, we'll get a point. If we get the score bang on, we get 3 points. Throughout the season, we'll be tallying up our score until eventually we have a winner. Now, last time out, Bentley picked up a massive 0. He's a paid pundit, everyone, an ex-footballer. 0.
Yeah, who's still winning, though?
0 points. Meanwhile, I picked up 2 points.
Congratulations. You say
2.
You say you fly this plane.
Not 1.
You
2.
fly the plane. You're the pilot, and you're losing.
So all that, well, yeah, but I'm not the ex-footballer.
No, but you're the pilot, so you're the most important part, as you tell us.
Yeah, but I don't know about the content.
You're going the wrong way.
All that you're going the no way.
I'm winning.
All that means AG, people's favourite, 24. The charlatan is Darren Bent, 26. Just 2 in it. Now, as we're coming towards the end of the season, we're introducing a joker. We have 1 each to use before the season ends. We can play it on any game. And if we get the score right, it triples our score. A massive 9 points. You'd have to use it this week. Right? Have you picked your games?
Yep.
Okay, I'll pick mine. What have you got? Tell me the games first.
I've got Burnley versus City.
I've got that game.
I've got Coventry Portsmouth.
I haven't got that.
I've got Southampton Bristol City.
Okay. Well, I've got Burnley City. I've got Brighton Chelsea. And I've got Sunderland Forest.
Oh, no championship, no. Just one dimensional. Okay.
I didn't even know there were games in the championship.
Honestly, one dimensional, Joe.
Right. Are you playing your Joker?
I'm going to play my Joker, Coventry Portsmouth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a difficult game to predict because Coventry are already up.
Yeah, but no, it's a first one back at home after being promoted.
Okay. What score are you going for?
3-0 Coventry. That ain't bad, that.
So if Coventry win, but like 2-0, 2-1.
I just get the 3 points.
No, you get no points.
Joe, so if I get if I get the score right, I get no points.
No, if you get the score right, you get 9 points.
No, but if Coventry win,
you get nothing.
Okay, now I'll take the joke off of that.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, but that one, I'm going to go.
It's all or nothing with the joke. You're either bang on or zero.
Yeah, no, I'm not playing the Joker this week.
Okay. Why?
Don't want to yet.
Okay.
I've got Burnley City, Coventry Portsmouth, Southampton Bristol.
Okay, so just go through the first one again. Coventry.
I've got Coventry Portsmouth.
And the score will be?
3-0 Coventry.
Okay. I'm going for Brighton Chelsea.
Yeah.
I might play my Joker, but I'll decide at the end of all this. I'm going for Brighton 2, Chelsea 0.
Okay.
You like that?
Not really, but yeah.
Okay. What's your next one?
Burnley City.
I've got that as well. What are you going for?
I've gone 4-0 City.
Okay, I've gone 3-0 City. And the last one?
Southampton Bristol City. I've gone 3-1 Southampton.
I've gone Sunderland Forest. I've gone 1-1.
Okay, yeah, that one is a decent one for Joker.
Okay, I'm going to play my Joker.
I know.
9 points I can win if Sunderland and Forest draw.
That's the one. That's the one I would have put it on.
Sunderland 1, Forest. I'll get 9 points. I'd love that. I'd love that to come in.
Part of me feels like I need to play my Joker.
You don't have to. Just see what. Do you want to play it?
No. Do you get one Joker, Joe? So he's used his, and that's it done.
We should have one a week, shouldn't we?
No, we shouldn't.
What's it?
No.
I'll play mine. I might buy one off Joe later on. So just to confirm, I've gone Brighton Chelsea 2-0, Burnley City 0-3, and Sunderland Forest 1-1. And if that comes in, I get 9 points.
I've gone Burnley versus City 4-0 City, Coventry versus Portsmouth 3-0, Southampton versus Bristol City 3-1.
And you're not playing your Joker?
Nope, I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm really happy with them scores, you know.
Okay.
The Sunderland Forest one worries me.
1-1.
Because that's got 1-1 written all over it. That.
Ooh, imagine that comes in 9 points. AG, big trouble.
When's that game tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Friday? Is it Thursday? Is it tomorrow? Are you sure? Okay. Yeah, let's get a big trophy out of petty cash. Actually, hold off on that. Let's see if that result comes in. That was this week's Clutching at Scores. Jack, you got any buttons to press?
Isn't it outstab?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
We can hear this.
Well, I don't know what happens now. What happens, Jack? Take me to a break, Jack.
Simon and I touched on this yesterday, but there are alarm bells ringing if they miss out on Champions League football, Chelsea, but more than that, if they miss out in Europe. Now, they produced the biggest loss ever in Premier League history, 262 million for 24-25. Tell me about the damage that could be inflicted on them if it results in no Champions League football, if it results in no European football at all.
Yeah, the Champions League thing is obviously a very, very significant issue for a club with their cost base and with their losses and their run rate losses. And they are telling everybody that is asking that they are operationally profitable right now, whatever that means. It seems to me that it can only mean that you have to strip out all of the player amortization, which is about 260 million quid this year. So sure, if you strip out one of the biggest lines in your P&L,
You can make that claim.
then maybe you are operationally profitable. But to be frank, even then, it's a bit of a challenge going forward because they won't have the Club World Cup money. And if they drop out of the Champions League, obviously they'll also drop £80 million of UEFA prize money. It might be mitigated by a Europa Cup, maybe a Europa Cup final, which will give them, Spurs got 35 last year, so maybe 40. Can they still sell out the stadium in the Europa? Yeah, probably pretty close. So they'll probably still do £100 million match day if they're in Europe. The big issue they're going to have is if they fall into the conference. They've got a very, very challenging situation with the settlement agreement that they agreed with UEFA if they're not in the Champions League.
It's flown by today, isn't it? It's absolutely flown by. Drive and talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Bent is here in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Follow us at 7. We just spoke to the GOAT, Adrian Durham. That's live coverage of Brighton against Chelsea in the Premier League. Big game, that one. Team news is in. Sam Matterface has all the details. Sam, good evening.
Very good evening to you, Andy. Welcome to Brighton's Amex Stadium. We're high at the back and we're looking down on the pitch in which in the next hour or so we'll be seeing Chelsea and Brighton. As far as Brighton are concerned, Fabian Hürzeler returns to the dugout tonight after serving his 2-match touchline ban. But Lewis Dunk, the captain, is only on the bench this evening. And 2 games in 3 days, a little bit too much for Danny Welbeck. Ayari also drops out and Matoma comes into the team. So it's Verbruggen in goal. Weifert continues his role at right back. Van Hecke, Boskagli and Kadioglu are the back four. Baleba and Gross in midfield with Matoma, Hinshelwood and Minte behind Jorginho Ruter, who got that dramatic equaliser at Tottenham on Saturday, leading the line. Big changes for Chelsea. Well, certainly in terms of personnel. Cole Palmer not in the matchday squad. Esteval is out with an injury that he sustained in Saturday's defeat to Manchester United. Trevor Chalobah returns to the starting lineup for the first time since last month. Romeo Lavia is included from the off. So this is how they start. Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Chalobah, Fofana and Cucurella. We think Hato will move into midfield with Caicedo and Lavia, with Neto and Fernandes supporting Liam Delap in attack. There's no João Pedro in the starting 11 either. Just having a quick check to see whether he's on the bench, and the answer to that is he's not. So a very youthful looking Chelsea bench actually, with Alejandro Garnacho joined by the likes of Jesse Derry and Mark Guéhiou as well. We're underway tonight at 8 o'clock. We're on air from 7.
Thank you, Sam. Of course, the boys on the Sports Bar will be taking calls at 10 on the back of a home win for Brighton 2-0, hopefully to get me a couple of points. Guess who's in the studio? Someone who no one really cares about. Someone who goes to the barber and has more hair when he comes out. Someone who's got no friends. And someone whose mum picks him up when he's finished work. And I use that term very loosely. It's one word, Billy.
Hello.
How's your day been, Bill?
Yeah, great actually.
Who cares, man?
Really good.
You're a Chelsea fan. What do you make of that squad?
Yeah,
Bill, no one cares, mate. What's the matter with you? What'd you make of it? Is he injured, Cole Palmer?
He must be. I don't know why he wouldn't be there.
No Pedro?
Yeah, it's been a bit. I think he is injured.
Okay.
Yeah, he was injured the other day.
Very bizarre. What we did today, Billiam?
We were talking about Leicester earlier, where you were. 10 years since they won the league and they could go down. So the quiz is about Leicester, kind of.
Kind of, I like that, okay. Go on then,
What's the
Billiam.
generation game? I missed that.
Yeah, but our memories are so bad.
No, yours is bad.
We've got 4 last time.
No, I didn't. I beat you 5-4.
Andy, Leicester won the league 10 years ago.
Correct.
But what is the official world record for counting from 1 to 10 in the fastest time?
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've just done it in under a second, so 0.5 seconds.
0.33 seconds.
I can probably do that. Can we do it again?
I think you've just beaten it.
Yep. I'm currently the world record holder, isn't it?
Benty, Leicester are called the Foxes, which are related to dogs. Name 5 famous dogs.
What do you mean related to dogs? How's a fox related to a dog?
They're part of the same family, I think.
I don't think they are.
I think they are.
I don't think a fox is a canine.
I think they are.
I think you completely... Joe's nodding. I don't think foxes and dogs...
Red dogs. Name 5 famous dogs.
Lady, the Trump. So you go, there's 2.
I mean, he's
pretty good.
What's his name again?
Well, that one.
Pluto, was it?
One.
Was Pluto? No.
Well, that one. That's a planet, isn't it? Pluto.
Win, obviously Win the dog.
Yeah.
Pluto?
Yeah, I need another one. Give me a famous dog. Dog.
Look at this. This is terrible.
There's one very famous dog.
Yeah.
Probably the most famous dog.
Yeah, he used to go over to Wells and bark, and they go, what? Someone's...
Wellard.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go
the
for...
little dog in EastEnders.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not going for that.
You can have Willie.
No, I'm not having that. I will also go for...
Take your time.
Wayne. Cartoon. Unbelievable.
Bring your lunch, bring your
There you go, bring everything.
You could have had Clifford, the big red dog. You could have had Digby or Lassie.
Scooby-Doo.
I went Lady in the Tramp.
Scooby-Doo, yeah. Scrappy-Doo, his cousin.
Lady in the Tramp.
Was Scrappy his cousin or his son?
Brother, I think.
You don't even know.
Is his brother? Okay.
Lost where was
that's
Lost your place.
That's what happens when you ad-lib.
Just don't ad-lib. We've told you about that.
Andy, Michael Brighton was part of the title-winning squad.
Sharky.
Yeah.
And Brighton play live on talkSPORT tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a university in Brighton, but how old was the youngest ever person to go to university?
In this country?
No, this was in California.
7.
6.
5. 6 years old.
Graduated at 8 with an Associate of Science in Geology.
And where are they now, Bill?
Don't know.
No.
Running Apple.
They probably run Apple, yeah. They've got a new CEO, do you see?
Probably him.
He's probably him.
6-7.
More buttons from Jack there for no reason.
Benty, it's 10 years since Leicester won the league. What's 2016 at 2026?
Do you know what, I nearly said something there that I shouldn't say.
I've got it.
Go on, let Andy give it to Andy.
4042.
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah, your math is unbelievable though.
Thanks. I mean, it wasn't that difficult, but yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Andy, red Leicester is a type of cheese.
Yes.
Great cheese.
And cheese sometimes smells bad. What did scientists...
Bishop's fingers. Is it Bishop's finger? Have you smelled that? No good.
What did scientists work out is the worst everyday smell in the world?
B.O. It's got to be B.O.
That was one of my options. Do you want options?
No, he's answered, Bill, so no.
You going B.O.?
No, I want the options. I went B.O., give me the options.
No, is it Bill?
Off milk, B.O., foot sweat.
It won't be foot sweat. It's got to be off milk. It makes me heave, that does.
Oh, hello.
Oh, Moose, I'll speak to you at the end of the show. I'm just busy.
No worries.
What is it, Bill?
It was actually foot sweat.
So you got it wrong.
I don't believe that.
No, B.O.'s worse.
Okay.
Do you want one more? Closest wins?
No, I'd like my question, please.
Yeah, closest wins, yeah.
Famous Leicester fan Gary Lineker loves crisps. How many crisps have Walkers made since Leicester won the league in 2016?
Oh, my. What? Crisps or bags of crisps?
Crisps.
You don't know that?
That's impossible, that.
I've checked.
No, you could check. It's rubbish.
I've never said this before. Were you punching for me?
That's the worst question in the world, that.
2 billion.
No. 2,000,000,001.
960 billion.
Thank you. How do you know that? How does anyone know that? Because you don't know how many crisps I consume.
Yeah, but it's nothing to do with consuming, it's eating.
Not every pack of crisps got the same amount in them.
Why are we having this conversation at the end of the show?
Because if one breaks in the packet, then how do you know it's not 2?
Now that's a great question. Yeah. Next time you come in here, Billy, don't add it. Come in here with proper questions. A big night of football, Leicester in action on talkSPORT 2, live on talkSPORT. Brighton take on Chelsea boys on the Sports Bar from 10. Take your calls. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 for more nonsense. Have a lovely evening. Be safe, everyone. Be safe.
Of course, you've been working hard for once, and have worked out how many points City and Arsenal
Well,
will
I've got it all
finish on.
sorted. Just to clarify, put everybody's mind at rest. City next game, Burnley 3 points, Everton away a point, Brentford home 3 points, Bournemouth away 1 point, Palace at home 3 points, Villa 3 points. That means they're going to get